We are live. Let's do it, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Money Monday, everybody. We are all set for a brand new trading day ahead. Welcome, everyone, of course, on tradecaster.com, as we always have. And, of course, welcome, everyone, over on YouTube today. We are doing a live stream over on YouTube. So, guys, again, today is the first day of the week. It is Money Monday. Let's get fired up. Let's get excited, because today is going to be the first day of about 4 to 5 great days of trading before we get into our Labor Day weekend, our nice little 3-day vacation coming on up. So I really want to trade hard this week. I really want to get after it. And of course, I want to play every single stock that's available to trade. And what do I mean by that is, obviously, there's over 7,000 stocks that we can trade every single day. But I want to be trading the stocks that have good setups, good opportunities, that are saying, hey, we have high reward and low risk. And that's what we always want to be getting involved with, right? We always want to be getting involved with stocks that have a much better chance of winning than losing. And that's what stock trading is. Stock trading is breaking down each play and figuring out, if I put myself in this position right here, I am going to have a much better chance of coming out on top than, of course, taking any sort of risk. So, of course, it does come down with odds, but at the same time, stock trading isn't gambling. I always say, if stock trading is gambling, think of yourself as the house, right? You're the house, which means what? You always come out on top. You're not the tourist coming in and just randomly guessing. You can make stock trading a gamble if you want to, but you could do it strategically, and you can make sure the odds are always in your favor. There's a reason why I've been able to be a stock trader for the past 7 years now. There's been a reason why that I'm up over $300,000 in 2020 alone. There's a reason why that we've been able to be consistent, and in 2020 I have a 72% win rate. I win over 7 out of 10 times when I trade. And why is that? That's because I wait for the right setups. I wait for my chances for me to be able to come out on top. And when I do have a loss, I usually cut it out quick. Am I going to take a loss? Of course, there's going to be losses in my trading career. There's going to be losses that are probably going to happen at some point this week. Hopefully, again, we can keep them nice and small, but at the same time, it's all about managing them. If I am having a statistic where I win over 7 out of 10 times, if I see red, cut out, move on, because I know there's going to be much better plays in the future, and I know from my past, from my stats, I'm going to be able to come out with a winner very shortly. So again, it's all about managing and making sure that every single morning you are putting yourself in positions that have more reward than risk. So how do we do that? How do we put ourselves in better positions? How do we put ourselves in stocks that we know that we are going to be winning on? Well, first things first is to be prepared. So many people wake up at 9:30 in the morning and they say what to themselves? 9:30, let's see what's cracking today. Okay, I am so far behind. I have no idea what's going on. Hey, this one looks good. Let's buy it. Right? That's not what we want to do. What we want to do is set together a full, watch list, have a full game plan on every single play. So when the market opens on up, boom, we know exactly where to look at. And that's why we jump on 30 minutes early, to make sure that we go over absolutely everything. Always have a game plan. Always be prepared. You can think of it as, again, back in high school, back in college, back whenever. If you studied that night, if you studied the week before, if you took the time to actually learn that test subject that you're taking that test on, it's not, again, very difficult, right? Because you know all the information. Right? You only get nervous. You only get anxiety. You only have, again, that big rush of fear when you don't study. If you were out partying or whatever and you have this huge exam coming on up and you know nothing about that material, yeah, you're going to be freaking out because you're not going to pass. Same exact thing with stock trading. If you wake up early, you do the research, you have the game plan, you got nothing to worry about during the day, because your nerves are going to be way more easy because you already know what's going to be coming on up. So let's break this all down. Let's all get on the same page here. Let's make sure when this bell hits in about 22 minutes from now, we're all ready to rock and roll. So the number one thing that we should always be doing is what, traders? Right? The number one thing that we should always be doing is going to be going over our watch list on our morning newsletter. Let me just make sure we're all set right here. Also, again, again, a little heads up, if you ever have any sort of issues, hit up the one-on-one support chat, and we'll be happy to help you out. We do have on tradecaster.com, bottom left-hand corner, we have live tech support to help you out with everything that you need, no problem whatsoever. All right. So let's bring this on over and let's make sure that we're all set, ready to go here. Okay, guys. So here's our morning newsletter. Let's just run through this. There's not too much popping off right now. So let's make sure we go over this whole entire thing so that we're all set. So what we have here, as I already stated, happy Money Monday. We are back and live on Tradecaster and YouTube today. Today is a great day, not only because it is Monday, but because it's also the final trading day of August. August is known to be one of the slowest months of the year. So to have that behind us, it's such an excellent thing. The hottest times of the year are mid-September to February. This is when we have the highest amount of volume as summer vacations are over, traders are back to work, and the holidays approach, which brings in strong buying. The next 6 months are going to be some of the best trading we have seen in 2020. So again, you guys do not want to miss out on it. I cannot wait. Over the past 7 years of me trading, team, I can honestly say November, late October, early December, these are the best times of the year. And it usually starts picking up, usually within about the first to second week of September, where things usually start getting really fast. Really crazy. What else do we know that I'm starting up, in September? I'm starting up small account challenge. Small account challenge, guys, going back down to a $4,000 account, going to be live streaming, live trading every single one of those. We are doing massive updates, as I already talked about, on tradecaster.com, adding a whole lot of different widgets, adding again an alert box. We have our live stream provider. We actually may be switching out of Webinito and going to a different live stream provider. We'll keep you guys updated on that. We're also, again, changing a lot about tradecaster.com, so it's going to be so awesome. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. We're also doing the biggest boot camp we have ever done coming on up when we kick off our small account challenge. We're going over every single 250-hour video library lesson, redoing every single one, giving them a 2020 revision for any of the strategy that has changed. So for anyone who's in chat is going to be getting that boot camp absolutely for free, over 200 hours, probably going to take us about 2 months, but going from A to Z on absolutely everything I know about stock trading. That is something that you guys do not want to miss on out. So if you guys, again, want to check out the free YouTube stream, if you guys are over on tradecaster.com, you guys can, of course, go check that out. One of the best things, again, about being on Tradecaster instead of YouTube, there is no delay. On YouTube, little heads up for anyone who's watching, there is about a 10 to 15 second delay. Could be a little bit more depending on where you are. On Tradecaster, it's not longer than 2 seconds. So again, that's one of the big reasons to always be on Tradecaster. No delay, and you get everything in real time, as we know how hot the penny stock market can be moving. Now, as always, guys, we do have our Dekmar Trades morning newsletter going over all the hottest news. We have our last week's spikers. We have Friday's top gainers. Here are the lowest float stocks with news and our pre-market movers. Before we get to all this good stuff, let's just go down and get a little bit of an update on what's happening with the actual markets today, going over to the SPY. As you guys can see, the SPY has been on fire, right? So the SPY has been on fire, and every single day, every single week, we have been hitting some brand new record highs. So U.S. stock futures rose Monday morning as the S&P 500 wraps up its best August performance since the 1980s. The Dow Jones Industrial Average futures were up 41 points or 0.1%. The S&P 500 futures added 0.2%. NASDAQ 100 futures gained 0.3%. The S&P 500 is up 7.2% month to date, putting the broader market index on track for its biggest August since 1984. The Dow has rallied more than 8% this month and is also headed for its best August in 36 years. Ooh, that's good. That's great. That's grand. Right? So again, this is awesome to see the SPY on such a big, strong bounce back since, again, the COVID-19 initial hit. So we have, again, been able to, climb very, very nicely. And that has been great to see that we have been able to see the SPY be able to, the SPY rise so well. So being able to see this, rise so well, we've been able to get so much momentum. The SPY all the way back up at new record highs. Absolutely awesome and absolutely great. Okay, so let's continue this on up. What else do we have going on today? Well, let's go to the important stuff. Let's go over the stuff that means the most. The stuff that has some of the best activity, the stocks that could definitely bring in that most momentum for us. I'm actually just going to take a quick little screenshot of this, of course, just for anyone who has not checked their email on Tradecaster. And I just want to post this over in chat for everyone. So let me go get this, right here, post it in the chat. Also, yeah, the reason why we may be switching off of Webinito, which is the live stream provider we have right now, is because we're changing up the mobile format. And I want to make sure everyone on their phone can watch the live stream. So again, we found 2 other live stream providers that we could do it on mobile, that you guys can watch it on your phone where you guys go. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We love the real time. Again, YouTube, unfortunately, and Twitch, as you guys can imagine, those aren't real time. They're like 15, 30 seconds delayed. So that's why, again, it's not very good for penny stock trading because how fast things move. So again, we always want the best for you guys. We have an awesome desktop platform, everything absolutely great. We have our, again, mobile where you guys can, chat it up, and you guys can use the Webinito app, but we really want to blend it so you guys can kind of go back and forth, watch the live stream, and of course, have the chat on your mobile device. So again, we're going to have that all set for you guys in about a month or so you guys are all set, ready to go for anyone on the go. All right, so let's again be all set. Yep, and again, happy to help. Obviously, I do everything I possibly can for you guys. So if you guys have any suggestions, if you guys want anything added, hey, there are no limits. We have one of the best programming teams I've ever seen in my life. So if you guys have anything you ever want me to add, boom, I tell them, they put it in there. Again, and that's exactly, how we have one of the best chat rooms in the world right now because of you guys. All right, so let's go over absolutely everything right here, and let's break down each one of these plays so that when this market goes off in 15 minutes, we're all set, ready to go. So first things first, guys, we got to jump into the number 1 top gainer of the day. The number 1 top gainer of the day is AKCA. And you might say, Dek, what are you talking about? The number 1 top gainer of the day is LFACW. Well, whenever you see a W after, again, a 4 ticker, W stands for warrant. So this isn't even us trading the shares. This is the warrants of LFAC. So again, we really skip this. You can see there's like no float. So I really don't count that. I go down to the next one, which is AKCAW. So you could also see like right here, CRSAW. This is trading warrants of the stock. So what we want to do is not trade warrants of a stock. We want to actually trade the actual stock. So that's why, again, when we're getting involved with these plays, just make sure, a little side note, that you guys don't get involved in one of these plays and actually stick with the shares of the company. So let's go to our number 1 top gainer right here, AKCA. Now, if it's not really worth our time, I'm not going to spend too much time on this play because we got about 15 minutes and I want to go through a lot. So AKCA, I'll be straight up with you guys. Most likely, we're not going to be touching AKCA. And you might say, Dek, why are we not going to be touching AKCA too much? Well, because most likely this stock is just going to be moving sideways today. We may have a few pops here and there, but I don't expect much from AKCA. And you might say, what do you mean you don't expect much? This stock has gone from $12 and gapping up to $18.60. Well, it's because they got acquired at the certain price. So again, another company acquired the remaining stake in this company right here. So Ionis Pharmaceuticals acquired AKCA. So they bought this play at $18.15 per share, which means the stock isn't worth more than $18.15 per share. So that's why AKCA right here has been just moving sideways for the past 3 hours. Now it is starting to get a little bit of a pop. That's why, again, it's worth our time to kind of keep our eyes peeled on it. But I do, again, expect this stock just moving sideways throughout the whole entire day. It's kind of like the same exact thing when you look at AIMT. AIMT traders were saying to themselves, whoa, Dek, this stock has gone from $12 to $34. What's going on here? Again, it's the same exact thought process. AIMT, again, is to be bought by Nestle. And that's, again, at the price. They will pay $34.50. So that's why the stock right here is just moving at the price of $34 and around that 50-cent mark, right? So that's why, again, it's just moving sideways at this time, that $34.50 mark over on AIMT. So that's why, again, we're not really focusing too much over on AKCA. That's why we're not really focusing too much on AIMT, because these plays are just kind of moving sideways right here. All right? So we just want to make sure that you guys have a clear understanding of that. Let's keep moving along here, guys. Next play that we're going to be going over towards is GNW. So GNW, this is a play that already, it's not really my favorite thing in the world, just because it is a little bit on the chunkier side. And what do I mean by the chunkier side? We got about 500 million in float. All right, 500 million in float. This is a beefy stock, which means it's going to definitely take a lot to move this play. And what do I mean by this? If you guys don't know, the float is the shares offered to the public. When we have a large amount of shares offered to the public, it takes a very long time for a stock to spike or for a stock to move. Notice if we take a look, at the past chart history pattern, our biggest days are from $2.70 to $3. $3 to $3.30. The biggest day I see in the past year would probably be this day right here. We went from around $3.96, let's just say $4, up to $4.50. So in the past 6 months to the year, the biggest day I see is a $1 move. And that's not that big. So again, you know why? It's because this is such a big float play. The bigger the float, the harder it is to move. And the lower the float, the easier it is to move. So that's why we always look for like 1 million in float stocks, because those can go on the biggest spikes and the biggest rips. For instance, like UONE. UONE low float stock goes from $1 all the way up towards around $60, right? You go on these crazy rips, crazy runs, crazy pops. You can do them in a very fast manner, right? CARV, 2 million in float, going from $2 all the way up to $23, etc. etc. So you guys get it. So again, a stock that has 500 million in float, I'm not really going to be too focused on it, just because I don't expect more than maybe like 40 cents out of this play today on average. GNW also, guys, does not have any news. GNW does not have any filing towards it. GNW this morning came out with potentially is going to have a buyer towards it. So, but that doesn't show us any credibility. The word potential means nothing, because literally you could be a company and put out anything in the world and put potential in front of it, and you can put it out. What do I mean by that? Everyone in Tradecaster knows this, that again, you know, you could put the word, hey, we are potentially going to find COVID-19 cure. Everyone goes and buys that play. But that press release means nothing. And why is it? Because you just putting the word potentially. I potentially can find the cure. You can potentially find the cure. They could put, hey, we could potentially find the cure, and this, you know, medicine also cures, you know, cancer. And it also, again, makes you grow 6 inches. And it also, again, is going to, you know, have x-ray vision when you take it. And the thing is, that sounds crazy, but if they put the word potentially before it, they could put that press release out. You know why? Because maybe they can. Who's us to tell them that they can't find that, right? So again, whenever you put the word potential in a press release, you usually only have a quick spike from a little initial hype and then a dump right back on down, because there's not really any credibility behind it. So GNW, I'm not the biggest fan on this play today, just because there's not much credibility behind that stock today. So let's keep moving along here, because again, a lot of these plays right here is going to be a play that is going to be a lot of these plays are a little bit slower. Bluebird, I like the joke. I'm just going to delete it because it's a little inappropriate, but I think it's funny as well. All right, so UTSI, let's see what's going on here. So this stock, 10 million in float. Does this stock have any sort of news? Does this stock have any sort of reasoning? Well, again, we can go to UTSI, check it out. August 31st right here, we do have a press release behind us. So our press release right here is what? We have launches Skyflux Converge package transport platform and postpones the release of its first half 2020 financial results. Again, not the biggest press release in the world. The second half of this press release means nothing to us. Postpones its first, first half of financial results. That really means nothing. But what is bringing in a little hype is launches is Skyflux Converge package transport platform, which again, isn't the biggest thing in the world for us. We're not seeing, again, positive press releases. We're not seeing agreements. We're not seeing all this crazy hype. So again, these top gainers right here aren't really bringing in a lot of that big time momentum. The easiest way to know if a stock is going to bring in a lot of hype or not, guys, is look at this cheat sheet. This cheat sheet is everything. This cheat sheet, if you see these words in a press release, you can expect it getting some sort of volume. You can expect it getting some sort of hype. So keywords look for in a hot press release. These are the words you want to see in a title of a press release. That's a 1-star word, 2-star word, 3-star word, 4-star words. This is where you want to be focused on, and this is what you really want to be looking at. Okay, so these plays right here definitely can bring in some of the most potential and bring in the most hype. Just be ready for that if you see these in any sort of the press releases. But unfortunately, as I said, we're not seeing many of the hot press releases at this time. So if we don't see hot press releases at this time, what's our other option? Our other option is for us to go to what was hot last week. Now it is 923. Sometimes we get some 915 hot press releases. Just want to check these out real quick. EMKR just went from 360 to 460 over on EMKR. So again, we can keep that on watch. That was awarded contract, pretty good. Not a bad thing. Float is decent at around 25 million. EMKR, just kind of keep that on the back burner, guys. We can dive back into that in a moment. But let's look into stocks that were hot last week, because traders, guys, are just like you. They're just like myself. They're just like the person right next to us. Everyone wants to find the hottest mover. And unfortunately, if none of these hot press releases are bringing in a ton of hype and momentum, people are going to go back to Friday's top gainers. People are going to go back to last week's top gainers. That's where people are going to focus on kicking it on off. So let's go with our last week's spikers and let's see if anything is still in play. Okay, let's see if anything's still in play from our last week's spikers. Well, first things first, we do have NIO. Unfortunately, NIO this morning, they came out with a press release, which was actually a bad press release, which stated what? NIO, this stock came out with an offering. So again, any sort of offering when you're putting more shares out to the public, come on Yahoo Finance, work with me, baby. So NIO right here, this play, as you can see, sinks on heavy volume after offering prices at discount, sold at 17. So we have an offering price of, or an offering of 88 million shares. And that's what dropped NIO right here. So NIO, this was a great one last week. I played this one a lot last week. We saw, nice spikes, throughout the whole entire week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday had a little bit of a drop. But NIO, last week's spiker, probably not going to be getting a lot of hype right there. FTSI, this was one I talked about last week, and this is what I call a slingshot pattern, guys. And what do I mean by a slingshot pattern? A slingshot pattern is where a stock will be falling, kind of settles out a little bit, and then hits a brand new 52-week low from either bad news or something along these lines, where basically the stock is going to have this pullback towards a new low, and then all of a sudden, boom, it starts breaking on out. Now, why would a stock break out after like bad news or after hitting a 52-week low? Well, usually what is happening is the stock is so oversold that there's no shorters in these play. There's no one left to sell it. So the only way it can go is really just up, because it's so oversold. It's hitting brand new 52-week lows. No one's going to be shorting a play that's so oversold. People start buying it and it starts picking up momentum. So if we take a look at FTSI, this was actually one I brought up on August 24th, and you can see on Friday it actually started getting a nice rip. On Friday we started spiking very well, and if we can get anywhere back above $5 today, this thing could start picking up once again. I do like FTSI. It was a last week spiker. It can also be a this week spiker as well. VVPR was collectively the best top gainer of last week. We saw a nice spike on Thursday, and we also saw a great spike on Friday. Friday, we went from $5 all the way up towards around $8.30. If we take a look at this play, right, on Friday, this stock had a nice spike at the end of the day, and it also had a great move in after hours. This will be a play I am going to be watching at the start of the day. And why am I going to be looking at this at the start of the day? Right now, the stock is on a very nice downtrend, as we can obviously tell. But I do think we have great support on this play. And if we take a look, I think we have some great support, probably right around, there's going to be a couple different areas. You can either go right around the 675 mark, or you can go a little bit higher, probably up towards around this like 740-ish mark. So these are kind of like the two lines that I really see on this play, where the 740 is the top of this channel, and then we have all the way back down towards around 675, which is the bottom of this channel. So if I see, let's say, VVPR open up and we have a nice pullback, this stock is going to have volume. It was a massive top gainer on Friday. So that's why I want you guys to kind of keep your eyes peeled on this play, as there definitely is a lot of potential towards this stock. So I do like VVPR. Last thing we have right here is REKR. We're going to see if this could be able to break through that $7 mark. All right, so we'll see if that can get back above that $7 mark. So as of now, our top gainers over in our upgappers aren't really anything we want to be looking at. The best press releases I can say we have right now are going to be BOXL. BOXL was awarded a contract. Again, contract is one of our good keywords that we always want to look for. So I think that one definitely has, some potential towards it. We also have FTSI, which is also a contract press release. Unfortunately, FTSI does not have any sort of big volume, but it was awarded $1.9 million contract. So I definitely want to be keeping our eyes peeled on that. We also had WKHS, which was entered into a strategic agreement. So again, we do have contract, and agreement. Again, very nice keywords to be looking for. The last one, of course, that we just came out with, which was EMKR, which just came out at 9:15, which was awarded as well, but EMKR spiked on up and dropped on down. So we do have, again, a couple plays right here. I'm going to say top stocks to watch. Top stocks to watch right now. We do have BOXL we want to watch, VTSI we want to watch, and WKHS out of this morning's news. These are the top ones we want to watch out of this morning's news. You know, that's the ones that I would be focused on. And then from there, we also have our last week top gainers, VVPR, which I want to be watching. So we have VVPR. We also have, again, FTSI. I want to keep my eyes on in case that stock starts getting any sort of momentum towards it. So those are kind of the top plays. So in my eyes, these are kind of the top stocks that I would want you guys to focus on at the bell. Now, I'll be honest. Again, it is a little bit tricky at the start right here, right? You know, it is a little bit tricky at the start right here to see which stock's going to be the number one. I know we usually take a chat vote on it. So we usually take a chat and vote, but there's only about 30 seconds left. So the best thing for us to do is get ready for our scans right here. Put up our new streamer. I just posted out all, of course, you know, the stocks that we want to be focused on and looking at right at the bell. So we're all ready to rock and roll here. And let's get ready to go. Guys, market opens up in about 20 seconds. Hope you guys are fired up. Hope you guys are excited. I'm going to be starting with VVPR at the start. So at the start right here, I'm going to be focused on VVPR just because it has the most momentum. But the thing is, watch the high of the day momentum scanner. The high of the day momentum scanner could easily bring in and show us where the volume's going. See how it says count alerts right here? Find the first stock that shows a 20 on its count alerts. It'll pop up in a moment. Here's like 2, 1, 4, 3. You know, so the one that usually has a 20 on it first will be the stock that usually has the most momentum. All right, just a little heads up as well. Here's my position box. Here's my order box. I don't have any trades yet today, okay? So I just want to be completely honest, transparent, show you everything right there so that you guys are all set. So VVPR, that's the first stock I'm going to be looking at. I do want to see if maybe we could see a nice pullback and see if that stock, you know, maybe come back on down towards maybe like the 680s or so. I do think that would be a nice bounce play opportunity for us. So again, if we could ever see that stock down towards around the 680s or so, I do think we could get a possible nice bounce play. It is just a little heads up. If you guys are interested, VVPR does have its first bounce play right now around the 740s, which just came down. Right, so we have our light support, strong support, and again, that's bouncing off of this top area. The reason I'm looking at VVPR is what it was a top gainer on Friday. So again, first stock to hit a 20 count right here, AKCA. That's the stock that got bought out. Remember AKCA? I'm going to put that on the bottom level 2 right here to see maybe if it can get some momentum. I will say the majority of plays that get acquired usually just move sideways, just like AIMT is. So notice how AIMT is just moving sideways. That's usually what happens on these type of plays. So that's why I'm a little bit iffy on AKCA. UTSI, trying to get a little bit of momentum towards it. This was not a play we talked about, UTSI, but UTSI is a stock with news. Or excuse me, we did talk about it. It just didn't have big news. UTSI launches its Skyflux Converged Packet Transport platform. Again, not the biggest press release in the world, but again, the stock is definitely trying to get a little bit of hype towards it. AKCA is moving pretty well right here. AKCA, $20 would be your main target if you're interested. Right now, this is a stock that is not doing the sideways move like AIMT is. AKCA right here is bringing in a lot more volume, trying to get itself up towards around 20 bucks. I am still watching, again, a little heads up for everyone on VVPR to see if VVPR is going to come back down towards around that 675-ish mark for a possible bounce play. I do think that would be a nice little area to start getting filled. So again, just a little heads up, I may look for a possible entry if this stock does fall back on down, because I will look for a bounce play, because what I'm doing is looking at the previous number one top gainer, looking for a nice low entry, be able to get filled on this stock. So I am going to be watching VVPR to see if I can get filled if this stock, you know, comes back on down. I'll put my position box on the bottom right-hand corner just in case we get any sort of nice crack, and I could possibly get filled towards, you know, a nice low area. So right now, again, I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled. We did come down towards, what, 693 so far? Came down to 693, not filled whatsoever on this play just yet. I know UTSI still trying to get a little bit of nice volume. Target on UTSI is 220. 220 is the 200-day moving average. So 220, 200-day moving average if you're interested on that play. Now VVPR, again, this stock I think is either, if it does come back down to, if it does come back down towards those lows, I think the bounce is either going to be right above 675 or right below 675. And what do I mean by that? Like it'll go at like, let's say 680, 678, or it's going to be back down to like 660, 660, 665, like those areas. So I know that's like a 20-cent gap. If you want to get a little bit more, hey, get after it. You definitely want to be looking probably more in the 680s. If you're a little bit more conservative, go back more towards around the 660s. Right now, no entries. You could see again my entry box right here. No entries I currently have at this time. So right now we're all set. Just kind of looking around. Just watching and waiting. Because right now the majority of traders, they're all focused on, finding that next big play. They're just like you and I. Everyone here wants to find that next big spike. Everyone here wants to find that next big rip and run. So we're just going to stay ready for it. We don't want to be putting ourselves in a bad position. JFIN, a little bit of an interesting press release, or interesting setup right here. JFIN, this is 11 million in float. Look at this, chart setup. Massive rip to $30 is above the 13 EMA, 200-day moving average, and 50-day moving average right now. So JFIN, I do want to double check that little sign out. VVPR is starting to come back on down. I'm not in on that play right now. I just want to check out real quickly JFIN to see if there's any sort of news on this. Filings, no. News, no. Okay, filings, no. News, no. VVPR right here still falling on down. I'm going to allow that one to fall a little bit lower. If you guys just got filled on that, it did come down towards around the 680-ish mark. I just want to see how low this is possibly going to go down towards over on this play, VVPR. And again, I do like it. We haven't been able to see a big bounce up yet. If you did just get filled in the 680s, you guys are, I think, pretty good right now. If you want to just take your 15 to 16 cents, you can also do that. So again, VVPR, if you guys got filled down in the low 680s, not a bad trade. It's about 20 cents so far. LI, that's a new IPO. Okay, LI, that was a new IPO that came out last week. It did go from $15 to $25. We are getting a nice little bounce off the 13 EMA. Nice little bounce off the 13 EMA right here. How's Tesla and Apple doing? Tesla and Apple just had a split this morning. Not a reverse stock split, just a regular split this morning. So I could imagine a little bit of hype going in on those plays as well. VVPR, nice bounce so far. If you guys got filled in the that area of the 680 mark, 680 right back up towards around 710 now. This stock may try to get a nice little U-shape. So perfect little bounce play so far. If you guys got filled in the 680s on VVPR, great job. Again, I did not get filled. I am not in at this time, but again, great work if you guys did get filled. Right now, we're just staying ready to rock and roll. That's it. AKCA starting to come back down to where it should be. So AKCA, I do expect this stock to kind of just be moving sideways, but it got a little bit of that quick initial hype. I'm just kind of waiting for that first pump and dump of the day. JFIN right here, still trying to get a little action just in case that one does start going crazy. Does that one have any shares available to short? There are shares available to short on JFIN. If I wanted to get involved with that play. The only way I would short that play though is if I started seeing it up towards around $6. But this is a chart setup that could lead towards a very big rip and run. This is one of those chart setups that it's above all three indicators and it basically just has the sky to run. It has the world to run towards it if it ever caught fire. Right now, again, I'm just waiting and watching. We do have CSSE. $10 up towards around that $17 mark. Not too shabby. So these plays, again, trying to get a little bit of hype towards it. We're just staying ready. Yeah, right now I don't have any orders in. Right now I have 0 orders in because VVPR did get that nice little bounce at around that 680 mark. If it ever came back on down and crashed through 680, it would get a little bit of a crack. So again, I don't have anything right at 680 or 675 at this time. No orders for me at this time. UTSI, nothing there. HHT, no. CNET, still trying to get a little bit of hype. Right now, again, we have everything right in front of us. Our top gainers on the day is a 41%, 14%, TAT 13%. Not too much action right now. So what do? We don't get emotional. We don't put ourselves in a position just because we feel like we have to trade. I know it's Money Monday, but let's also understand we are 8 minutes into the market. 8 out of an 8-hour long day. If you're saying, Dek, I haven't traded anything yet today, best thing to do is take a step back, relax, wait for the best opportunity. Right? You don't want to be putting yourself in a bad opportunity when, again, you have all month, all day ahead of us. We have a brand new month coming on up, which is probably why, just a little heads up, why right now is a little bit lighter. And I say that just because it is Money Monday, which is great, but it's also the last day of August. So since it's the last day of August, I can imagine a lot of press releases being put out tomorrow so the company starts their September month on a high note. Because I can imagine a lot of companies saying, hey, August is behind us. Hey, we have a partnership press release. Hey, we have an agreement press release. Hey, we have a contract press release. Hey, we have this press release or this press release. All right, hey, let's put that out tomorrow and start our September off on the right foot, right? So that's what a lot of people most likely are going to be doing. Right now, again, we're just staying smart. I'm looking at NTNX. NTNX, I do want to go back to about a 5-minute time frame. How hard did the NTNX, again, this stock spiked very hard in the morning on Friday, but then all it did was sit and did nothing throughout this whole entire time period, right? So NTNX sat and did nothing throughout the whole entire day, which gets me nervous and say, do I want to buy NTNX right now? Do I want to buy NTNX right now? Because what if it can't break? If it can't break this high, it's just going to come back on down. Now, the good news is it also has an E right here, which means it is easily accessible for shorts. So the thing is, I can short this play. There is an E right there. Again, apologize about those scanners going down. I'll put them right back on up. So I can look to short this right back at the high, but it's just a little bit, kind of a little bit risky because we don't really know why the stock is kind of keep hitting that 2850. Why did it spike so hard and just move sideways for 6 hours? It is a little bit odd to see. But NNTX is getting a little bit of volume right now. There are shares available to short. That's great news because if we can see a little bit of a spike once again, maybe up towards $29 or maybe even a little bit higher, we could possibly be able to get a great shorting opportunity. How high can the stock go up to? This stock could get up towards, I'd probably say starting off right around like $29.50, right? That would be a nice, old top area. Yeah, probably right below $39, $29.75. That would be a great area to short the stock. So I'd probably say like right around $29.75 would be a great area to short the stock if it could maybe go about $1 more. So again, NTNX trying to get some momentum towards it, trying to break through those highs. But again, as we talked about before, big issue was last week, we just could not get above this line, right? Look at Friday. Hit it. So I know a lot of people may say, hey, Dek, I'm going to short at this area. Right now we're at 28.60. I'm going to short at this area and go from there. So a lot of people could be doing that. VVPR still getting a little bit weaker here. VVPR, if it does get weaker, it could fall all the way back down towards around 625. If this thing ever did, continue to fall. Right now, it's back down towards around that 675 mark. And again, VVPR, I say 625 would be the next support line because, again, we do have a top right here, right? We do have a nice bottom. If we take a look right here, so that we have a nice bottom right there. We have a nice top right here. We also have a few little upper shadows, as you guys can see. We have a few little upper shadows, right there. So again, I think that 625 mark, if we ever did see a nice little collapse, would be very solid. Notice NTNX getting held up though at the tops again. NTNX getting held up. We'll switch back to a 2-minute time frame. You see the stock is getting a little bit of tough resistance right around that 28.55 mark. You can look to short if interested right there. How's WKHS? WKHS, this one's not a bad play. Needs to get back above 1750. Did have an agreement press release this morning. Right? So we did have an agreement press release this morning. And we're just staying ready to rock right now. That's it, right? We're 11 minutes in. We're staying ready to rock, not putting ourselves in a bad position. WKHS trying to get a little bit of action right here. And what we have is WKHS. Go over to news. August 31st right here. Enters into strategic agreements. So strategic agreement, that is a good positive keyword, right? As our press release list right here, As you guys can see, we have our 3-star words. One of those good 3-star words is agreement. Agreement's going to be 2 companies working together. And when we have 2 companies working together, that's going to bring in a lot of hype and bring in a lot of momentum. An agreement is basically like a partnership. So again, that brings in some attention towards these plays. WKHS, I could imagine this one maybe going on a quick spike. WKHS. What we could also do, a little sign up PSV trying to get a little action. PSV trying to get a little action. Let's see if there's any shares available to short on that play. Nope, no shares available short on PSV. The stock did just go from 67 cents up to 98 cents. Little heads up for you guys. And also NTNX is trying to move on up. So again, stocks to kind of keep our eyes peeled on right now. So we do have stocks to watch right now. We do have PSV, $1 resistance. We do have WKHS, which is going to have right now $18 target. And then we also have NTNX, which is a $19.75 target. Now, when I say target, target's where the longs are trying to get to. At the target, you can also look to short. Okay, so at the target, you can also look to short. We also have VVPR, where VVPR, yeah, we can look for a bounce play at around 625. 625 bounce entry. So these are just kind of our main area stocks to watch. PSV, $1 resistance, which just got halted. WKHS, $18 target. NTNX, $19.75 target. And then we also have a 625 for VVPR for a bounce play. Nice. Okay, cool. So I just always like to kind of just keep everyone aware. I know at the start of the day, things can get a little bit fast. Things can get a little bit kind of disoriented where you don't know, again, where to be looking at, at all times. WKHS is trying to pick up a little bit. Now, again, good thing about WKHS, I believe this stock is shortable as well. It is shortable. So if WKHS ever did spike up, let's say up towards around like 1810 or so, we could see a nice possible short on that play over on WKHS, as that's right near around pre-market highs. If the stock ever spiked a little bit higher, probably that 1875 mark would be the best area. So if WKHS does start spiking higher and higher, 1875 would be the best area most likely. Yeah, NTNX, let me correct that. Thank you, guys. I will correct NTNX. I apologize. So what I have here, NTNX. Yeah, I meant to put 29.75. So thank you, 29.75. 29.75 is the target on that one. Yep, and people may be saying, Deck, why is, PSV running? Why is PSV spiking? Well, PSV did come out with a delisting notice. You guys don't know what a delisting notice is. It's basically saying that you must get above $1 in price. And if you don't get above $1 in price, that you are going to be taking off the New York Stock Exchange. So what we have here, you can see PSV. Appeal for delisting determination. We have, again, announces. Let's see if we go back right here. When was this? August 27th? Yeah. So, again, this is the delisting notice. So, if you guys don't know what delisting notice is, it needs to get back above the price of $1 and stay above $1 for at least 90 days. So, what usually happens then? What usually happens is the own company buys shares, right? People pump the stock on up. They do whatever they can to get the stock above $1. So notice, again, the stock went from 34 cents. Then we did have that big day where it spiked all the way up towards about $1.42. Right now, it's trying to get all the way back up towards around $1. PSV right now may get some big momentum towards it. And the reason I say that is just because, yes, we are trying to get above $1. PSV was a stock, again, on Friday that had a nice rip and run where we had this nice ascending triangle pattern. Nice ascending triangle pattern where we went from around 80 cents all the way up towards around $1.30. Then we came back down underneath $1. But we need to get back above $1. And if it can get back above $1 again, hey, who knows? We could possibly see a nice rip and run. When a stock says they're getting delisted, that means what that means is they would go down to the OTC market. Think about it like baseball. If you don't know, baseball has many different leagues. If you don't know much, again, there's like the Mets and the Yankees and the Braves and all the teams that people think about. But to get to that league, you also have to play in AAA, single A, or here, double A, which basically is the league before the big times, right? So PSV, no one wants to go back. Right now, you're in the big time league when you're trading on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, whatever. But no one wants to get delisted and say you're not good enough to be here and go back to the OTC market. So going to the OTC market, a lot of traders don't want to do that. A lot of companies don't want to go there. They want to go to where they see, where traders see them as more credible, where they get more investments. So that's why a lot of times if they say, hey, you're getting delisted, you need to get back above $1 or you're getting taken off, they do whatever they can. They pump their own company. People buy shares. They buy shares, whatever they can to get back above the $1 mark. So that's kind of what's happening right now over on PSV. GB, new IPO, halted right now. What did GB just do? GB just went from $8 up to $10.30. We can look into it a little bit more. I'm all about looking at some new IPOs. Float, no, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing right here, guys. You know, we don't have any information on a new IPO. People always ask me, you know, Dek, how high can this new IPO go? How low can this new IPO go? Hey, what's the resistance line? What's the support line? Unfortunately, with the new IPO, it's the new baby of the world, right? It's the new baby of the stock market. I gave the analogy before, you know, imagine again, you know, you give birth to a child. You know, you run over to the doctor and you say, oh, how tall is he going to be? Oh, you know, what's you know, how long is he going to grow his hair out? Oh, is he good at sports? What car is he going to drive when he's older? The doctor's like, I don't know, right? The doctor's like, I have no idea. You know why? Because again, you know, we don't know anything about it. He's 20 minutes old. So it's like he's 20 minutes old right here. You know, we don't know, like, you know, how tall he's going to be yet. We don't know, you know, much about it. He's just a little baby. So the same exact thing with GB. You know, right here, GB, it's like we don't know how tall or how high this is going to go, how much is going to drop. We don't even have the float on this play right now, right? So that's kind of the thing about this play. WKHS, still trying to spike on up. I do want to put, let me see here, NTNX starting to slow down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. I think WKHS right up towards around $19 would be a great short play. So I'm still watching that. And obviously, we're watching PSV. PSV got halted at 9:43 and 45 seconds. That means we're going to be getting unhalted here, team. It's a 10-minute halt, so that means we're going to get unhalted at 9:53 and 45 seconds, which is about 3 minutes and 20 seconds away. So again, we are about 3 minutes and 20 seconds away. There are no shares available too short on PSV. So again, it is a little bit of a tricky play because we can't get involved on the short side. We can only get involved with the long side. What you can do if you want to is you can look to put in an order maybe down in the low 80s and try to get filled, you know, maybe down at the 85-cent mark for a little bit of a bounce play before the stock tries to break that $1 mark. We do know $1 is going to be very, very strong resistance. WKHS is having a little bit of resistance around this $18 mark. I'm really hoping we can get a quick break and then again, you know, look for a possible short from there. Oh! All right. 9:50, 20 minutes in. PSV is live. PSV, we actually came out at a little bit of a random time there over on PSV. A little bit of a random time. If you are interested in getting filled, 85 cents is going to be your main support line. And let's see if it's going to be able to hold on up. Let's see how legit PSV is going to be. We know $1 is super strong resistance. $1 is one of the strongest resistance lines you guys can have in penny stocks. GB. All right, look at this. GB. Also, again, a new IPO play. Anyone interested in maybe pulling the trigger on GB? GB has gone from $8 now to $11. No pullback just yet. Stock's gone from $10 all the way up towards around $11. You know, it comes down to you guys. You know, you guys in the mood to eat some risky biscuits, or are you guys, you know, want to be a little bit more of a conservative chat over here, where GB, again, is a new IPO, just went from $8 all the way up towards $11.44. This one could possibly just keep on gapping up the way it is, as, you know, that it kind of is turning into one of those plays. So PSV right here. PSV, this is a stock that just came down to 85 cents. Notice we are getting a nice bounce back on up. And then we also have GB right here, which is on like 5-minute holds currently. Little heads up, Sean over on YouTube. Hey, me, Sean, on the 7-day trial, does that include Saturday and Sunday? Yes. So again, on the free 7-day trial, you're going to have access to chat, live stream, video library. You'll have everything from the moment you sign up all the way until 7 days. So again, 7 normal days. But yeah, again, for everyone over on YouTube, we do this every single day. Right now, again, we're still just trying to pinpoint that best play for us. But I live stream every single day with the live streams up at 7 in the morning Eastern time till 7 at night. So it's about 12 hours of live streaming a day, and I do commentary for 5 hours a day. And that's from 9 in the morning till 12, and then around 2:30 to 4. Right now, PSV, guys. PSV, still trying to push a little bit. So again, perfect little bounce play off that 85-cent mark. Now back up towards $1. If you're saying, Deck, why haven't you pulled the trigger yet? Just because, again, we're still very early in the week. I have a $2,000 goal. Again, all that takes is one trade. One trade, and again, we could be all set. VVPR, I would still say watch for one more drop. I still think VVPR, this stock hasn't gotten that big bounce play just yet. We can also start adding the VWAP because we're about 30 minutes in. We can add the VWAP in these plays. I would still say if you're interested, look for the bounce play back down towards around 625 on this bounce play. I think that would be the best area over on VVPR. So I don't think VVPR is a bad play yet. Right? WKHS trying to move on up. Ooh, WKHS trying to move on up. So again, kind of a couple little plays right here. We do have VVPR, still the same exact play, stocks to watch. Right, stocks to watch right here. We still have VVPR, which you'd be looking for that bounce play right around that 620 mark. WKHS, I think, would be a great short right around $19. And we still have PSV right here, which is now breaking $1. And we have GB, which is a new IPO trying to spike. So again, stocks to watch right here. We do have a nice little list of plays that we want to continue to keep our eyes peeled on. All these stocks definitely have potential to continue to move on up, continue to break on out, and continue to get that nice hype. So all plays that have some big potential towards them. So these are, again, our top stocks. WKHS trying to still move on up. And I'm actually going to be watching that one for a possible shorting opportunity over on WKHS. And the reason I say that is I just see a lot of shorting around $18.75 and $19. So that's probably what I'm going to start with. WKHS. And then I'll look for a possible, nice drop. And I can also average up on my play. If I do get filled, I can always, keep averaging up on some shares to short that play back on down. But I really wanted to try to get that spike on up towards around those highs. So again, I'm going to keep that one WKHS, looking for that 1875 short. Just a little heads up for everyone. Also, GB right here. If we want to take a look, we can go to www.nasdaqtrader.com and we can look at GB. Got halted at 951. So 951 is when we got halted. That means we're going to get unhalted right here in about 5 seconds over on GB. GB's on the bottom level too. This is a play that is a little bit more risky. But again, this play should be getting unhalted in the next few seconds here. It's on the bottom level too. We are live. We are live right now. Let's see if it's going to be another green candle. We are live right now. Let's see if it's going to be another green candle. Stock is still trying to push. May get halted again soon. Look at this, GB. Look at this, about to get halted once again. Another move on up. So again, anyone pull the trigger on that? Another move on up over on GB. Just got unhalted, as you guys can see, and this stock has just gone from around $11 up towards around $12.20. So GB so far, we've gone on about a $4 move on this new IPO. $4 move on this new IPO, not too shabby at all. WKHS still watching for one last little spike right here, and we also have, of course, PSV, still doing well. WKHS, I am just going to put that on the top level too for a moment. All I'm looking for is a nice little, come on, give me like a nice little 50-cent spike. GB, though, doing some, nice work here. So I don't want WKHS to start falling just yet, right? I know, again, it's going to have some nice support all the way back down towards around 1775. But notice GB doing very well right there, right? GB doing very well. And that's one of those plays that it is a little bit more on the risky side, right? It's a little bit more on the risky side. WKHS starting to fall a little bit. Wanted that one. Okay, that got up towards around 1840. I wanted again to see a little bit more of a pop. Want to see a little bit more of a pop there. So GB's halted again. That stock got halted at 9:56 and 40 seconds. That means we'll get unhalted at 10:01 and 40 seconds. If you guys need the Halt website, again, this is the website that you can always look to see where it's halted at. So again, always just check this out. If you guys ever need to know where or when a stock is going to be getting unhalted, just add 5 minutes or 10 minutes to that. All right, GB right here. Nice new IPO. And again, sometimes it's great to find these plays that just keep moving up, right? And how can you do that? By looking at these, right? You know, the other play, we had SAQNU. Let's see how that's doing. SAQNU. Nothing really there. How about LOGM? LOGM, anything happening over there? No, nothing really happening over there. SVA? Nope. Okay, so again, number one play right now, GB. That has been going from $8 to $12.20. Obviously, it gets a little scary because the moment we see that red candle is the moment that this stock, probably will have a little bit of a pullback. And unfortunately, there are no shares to short this play. Because what I would do, if I could short this play, is I would just wait for that pullback. I would wait for that first red candle and then just look to short it. But GB does not have any shares available that we can short at this time. So this stock has moved about $4, $8 up towards around $12.20. How's VVPR? Anything on that play? VVPR still just kind of sitting there. BOXL. BOXL not going to do anything until it can at least break $2. Right? Let me put PSV back up on the top level too. PSV, again, probably the best play there was that 85-cent bounce play before it ran up towards around 110. Great area to lock it in. I think a lot of people are changing their focus over to GB though. I'm thinking about doing a small entry over on GB. I'm thinking about it. Try to get filled on some GB shares and maybe see if this is going to run up towards around $15 or so. HHT trade life, let's see here. HHT trying to run up towards around that 150-ish, 160-ish mark. That could be a nice little play. And again, if you guys have not pulled the trigger yet, don't feel like you're missing out on anything. Don't be upset if you haven't bought anything just yet, right? Because again, you should honestly give yourself a pat on the back. And why is that? Because there has been a few plays. We had seen PSV go on a nice little move. We have seen GB go on a nice little move. We have seen WKHS go on a nice little move. But the thing is, if you guys didn't pull the trigger on, let's say, a play yet, that's all right. You're waiting for your setup. You're staying disciplined. You're not getting emotional and just buying just because you can buy. You're playing stocks that have the best potential for you. So that's why, again, it's great if you guys are, again, saying to yourself, hey, you know what? I haven't pulled the trigger yet just because I'm not 100% comfortable. That's absolutely A-okay. So let's go back. Again, NASDAQ trader, we should be getting unhalted on this play in the next 15 seconds over on GB. GB here, team. We are going to be getting unhalted in the next 15 seconds on this play. So again, this is a stock that does have risks towards it. We got to see if this thing is going to continue to move on up. All right, GB, we are back and live. GB is back and live. Let's see if we're going to... It's still moving on up. Still trying to move here. GB, I did not pull the trigger. It's about to get halted again. So GB is about to get halted. Just ran up to $15 now. Just ran up to $15 resistance over on GB. There you go. So again, if you guys are in on this play, shout out to you. If you guys are in on that play, shout out to you. GB is, again, the play that, again, traders are going towards. So all eyes, right? All eyes on GB. So again, that's the one that traders are looking at. Shout out to anyone that's over on that play. And that's, again, this stock, still moving on up to $15. And the thing is, I personally just don't want to chase it at this time, but it is a stock that, it's a new IPO. We don't know what it can hold, and that's kind of the good thing and the bad thing. The pro, right? The pro about GB is that it's a new IPO. The con about GB is that it's a new IPO. And what does that mean? Well, the pro is, since it's a new IPO, this could possibly be the next, type of, LFIN. Right? This could possibly be the next type of LMPX. Like LMPX, if you guys look, LMPX went from $4 all the way up to $45. Right? So we've seen, again, crazy rips and runs. I want LFIN to come on up. There it is. So LFIN, this play comes on up. What do we have over on LFIN? LFIN, this stock went from $5 to $24, gapped up to $38, and sprinted to $144. Imagine if LFIN pretty soon, we start seeing this thing and it goes all the way up towards $150. It's possible. So again, GB, it's a stock that the new IPO is one of its greatest pros towards it. But again, what's also the cons about it? It could just be like an RXT where, again, it opens on up and kind of just fades on down a little bit, right? RXT is actually trying to get a little bit of volume towards it, right? There's a lot of IPOs that don't really do too much, but there are some IPOs that go crazy. You might be saying, again, what's the float on GB? If you look over on Yahoo Finance right here, GB doesn't have anything, right? Not available, not available, not available, not available, not available. It's because it's the new IPO stock. No one really knows much about it. So that's why this play right here, is you're kind of just going on a little bit of a crazy move at this moment. And I'm excited to see what's happening next on this play, right? I'm excited to see what would happen next. GB, all eyes are here. And it is a play I would love to buy. It's just, it's a play that, like, I just know I'm chasing. Could it work out? Could it be the next $100 spiker? And would it be like, oh man, I wish I bought in? 100%. It could do that. But the thing is, I just also don't want to chase a play that I know is up. I wish the stock had shares available to short. Because if the stock had shares available to short, it just makes it so much easier as I can just kind of sit back and wait, right? So again, it just makes, life a lot easier right here. So again, everyone check your brokers. See if you have any sort of shares available to short. Right now, unfortunately, again, I just keep double checking GB. Inventory does not exist over on Lightspeed. WKHS, still trying to move on up. WKHS, trying to get there. Again, we need to see a little bit more of a spike. We need to see probably like a $19 break on WKHS at this point because it's been consolidating there for a while. So we actually want to see a little bit of an overextended move. NTNX, little pop on up. Okay, let's get up towards around 29.75. We got WKHS, maybe a possible short soon, and we also have NTNX, a possible short soon. And again, it's not about how much you trade. It's the trades that you pick, right? You could trade 100 times throughout the day and be down $4,000. Or you could trade 1 to 2 times a day and possibly be up $4,000 or $5,000. So right now, again, we know it's the final day of the month. We know, again, we have some volume here and there, but some days I have 5 to 6 trades. Right now, I don't have any trades yet just because I am being a little picky right now. Why am I being picky? Well, it's Money Monday. It's the final day of the month. We did not see any sort of big press releases this morning. We found a hot, runner, GB, but it's also, we're chasing it. We're buying a stock after it's already spiked $7. So while there's massive opportunity, there's also, again, massive downside towards it as well if things don't work out. So again, that's why it's a little bit tricky right here over on these plays. So GB is going to be getting unholted here momentarily. Again, we could just go over to our NASDAQ Holt scanner as we always do. We can take a look at this. Got halted at 10:02. So this got halted at 10:02 and 9 seconds. Here we go. GB should be coming back live in a moment. And we are live. We are live at $15 on GB. Are we going to break through $15 or is this going to be the first red candle? It looks like first red candle is going to be coming on up here, team. So $15, as we know, is a strong resistance line. First red candle looks like it just hit with a halt on the downside. Okay. So we just got hit with a halt on the downside. Obviously, next area for a possible bounce play would be $10, right? Next area for a possible bounce play would be $10. And that is, again, halted on the downside. So, again, kind of just going into our reasons on why we don't chase it. So, again, that's why we don't chase these type of plays. WKHS still trying to move on up. I know you guys are looking at NTNX as well. A little bit of a bigger play, guys, but NTNX and WKHS both moving up in a very nice manner right now. So we do have WKHS and NTNX both moving up in a nice manner at this moment. I want to see again NTNX. I have this red line right here. I have this red line. Let me get rid of this one. At the top, right, as you guys can see, at the top of this platform right here. So top of that platform, top of this platform, top of this platform. It possibly could go up towards around that $30 mark. You know, $30 is definitely an area where it could hit, or it's going to be right around this like $29.60 area. So NTNX, it's either going to be around $30.10 or it's going to be right around $29.60 for the short. You know, two different areas on that play. WKHS is still holding up pretty well. I would like to see WKHS, you know, maybe get a little bit more of a stronger move on up, like a hard spike to $19 or so. Tesla trying to hold right around that 460 mark. They go from 440 up towards around 460. Nice spike at the start of the day today. GB at this time, again, this is a play that does have a red candle towards it. So we're just, again, keeping our eyes peeled on these. Why does GB keep getting halted, and what does that mean if you were in it? Again, GB keeps getting halted just because we're seeing a dramatic move. And what do I mean by that? So again, GB, if I take a look at my light speed scanner and I put in WKHS, right? So let's go right here and let's look at WKHS, and I take a look at this play. WKHS, if you look at, if you have a premium broker on your level 2, there's going to be a thing called LULD. You guys see this? LULD, which is 1640. And then again, you could see LULD up here, which is going to be 2005. This is where the stock would get halted at. So if WKHS ever spiked to $20.05, it would get halted. And why would it get halted? Usually it's because it has too much momentum. So you can get halted for different reasons. You can get halted from pending news, which means news is coming out and the company's halting it. You can get halted from volatility, which means the stock is moving too quick. And that's usually what happens in the penny stock world. So if WKHS goes from $18.50 all the way up to $20, they halt the stock because it's moving too fast. And when you halt the play, you're usually halted for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's going to slow down the play, or that is going to allow more buyers or sellers to come in to make it a little bit more even. So that's kind of what we see a lot of times on these stocks. Little side note, PSV is starting to come on up. So again, the reason why BG keeps getting halted is because it's going on, or excuse me, GB keeps getting halted. It's because it's going on huge swings. $15 down to $13.50, $1.50, $2 spikes, right? $2 drops. So again, they're trying to just stop the momentum so it doesn't kind of sell itself off or go too crazy on the upside. So that's kind of what happens on these plays sometimes. PSV, what pattern is this? Right? Everyone should know this pattern. PSV, what pattern is this right here? Well, we have a bull flag, right? So we have a nice spike with a bull flag pattern. So when we have those bull flag patterns, that's, again, you know, leading towards that nice little rip and run over on PSV. So PSV still doing pretty well. NTNX still trying to hold on up. I just want to see that strong overextended move on this play. But again, GB doesn't have any shares to short. PSV doesn't have any shares to short. WKHS does have shares available, right? So again, WKHS does have shares available. And then we also have NTNX, which I believe also does have shares available. PSV right now, probably the best entry would be back down towards $1 support, and you'd want $1 support to hold on up. If the stock can keep on moving, you know, it may try to get back up towards around some old highs. Old highs is going to be right around that 140-ish mark. So right now, PSV is definitely trying. You know, the main target on PSV would be get back up towards the old highs of Friday, right? And the old highs of Fridays are going to be right around 138, 139. That would be the target price on this play. Let's go back to GB. Should be getting unhalted momentarily. So let's just go back to GB for a moment. We are, I believe, going to be coming back here in a second. 10, 12, 40 seconds. Yep, GB is live. Okay, GB is live right here. So we just had our first order go through all the way down at $11. That's obviously, you know, very, very low. Stock has gone from around $8. May get a little bit of a bounce back on up, you know, up towards around, I would probably say the VWAP at around 12.30. Did obviously have a nice little gap down. Newer IPO, you know, always got to be careful on these type of plays. Right now, GB, watching it, and I'm also watching NTNX. ESEA is a shipper play. So again, we don't want to touch that type of stock. I'm just staying ready, right? I'm staying ready. You know, I have a $2,000 target today. Do I think I can hit it? 100% I think I can. But I also, again, need to be smart about how I'm trading and what I'm trading. FPay. FPay has gone from around 220 to 250. Little, again, move up towards around 250. We could, again, look for a possible short around that stock. But, again, it's only moved about 30 cents. GB so far, still just trying to hold on up. And then, of course, I'm still watching, you know, NTNX. That's setting itself up in a little bit of a bull flag pattern. So we do have NTNX, slight bull flag pattern there. And then we're also going to be keeping our eyes peeled, of course, over on WKHS. And WKHS, I'm a little bit, not really a great bull flag pattern right there, but still has, you know, something along the same lines. PSV there. PSV starting to move, guys. PSV still, again, getting some momentum. Traders, again, what time is it? 10:14 right now? Traders may try to push this up towards around that 10:38 mark. I feel like a lot of traders are, again, eager to trade. There has been, I can think we can all agree, there's been spurts of life, right? I wouldn't say there's one thing that is absolutely incredible, but I will say we probably have seen some nice spurts of life where with some nice, you know, running and some nice momentum. I don't want to buy PSV at the very top right here. If anything, I'll wait for the stock to come back on down and then maybe look to buy it somewhere along this, you know, trend line or maybe this VWAP area, right? So PSV, I'm going to turn off pre-market right now. We don't need that. And again, we know our target is all the way up towards around that 140-ish mark. WKHS, that looks like it's starting to turn slightly. WKHS looks like it's starting to turn slightly. Again, I want to see one last little pop on up. You know, just give us one last little glimpse of hope, WKHS, and then you have my permission to turn, right? It's kind of like, you know, that Bane, right? Then you have my permission to die. So again, like WKHS right here, we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled on this. JFIN, that was one that we're looking at this morning for a bit. JFIN could get a little bit of momentum as well, right? Let's keep, again, JFIN on watch. This is a play that, you know, does not have any news, but I will say this is an excellent daily chart. And why is it an excellent daily chart? Because this stock had a spike, right? We had a nice ascending triangle squeeze right here, and it has all this room to run. Like, the thing is, when we take a look at JFIN, if you look right here, there's no resistance above this play. Like, this stock, if it ever caught fire, could do what it did before in its past. There's no, again, 13 EMA, no 50-day, no 200-day moving average. There's nothing to really hold this stock back too much. So that's why I think, you know, JFIN could possibly go crazy, especially like if it ever could make this big U-shaped pattern. PSV still trying to push. PSV still trying to push right here. WKHS still trying to hold up that 1845. And then NTNX. Here we look at PSV. So PSV still doing well. PSV still doing well. This stock looks like it's going to try to push back up to its old highs. And again, what do I mean by old highs? It looks like it's going to try to get back up towards around 138. So I would definitely, you know, keep that on watch. You know, PSV target right now, old high of the day, 138. Stock's definitely trying to go for that move. So do you have PSV 138 Friday's high? Watch for a spike back to this area. So that's again where we are currently at this time. Just watching, waiting, seeing what's going to be coming on up. And again, we can look for, again, bounce plays along the uptrend. There, bounce plays, that's kind of the uptrend that I'm seeing at this time. So notice PSV still trying to push its way back on up. 125, again, 25 cents natural resistance. So again, that's why we're staying smart right here. Not putting ourselves in any sort of bad position, but just, of course, watching and waiting. And again, if you are interested in saying, Dek, I think it's going to break, look for a small pullback, maybe like 118 or so to get involved with. I'm not here, again, to tell you not to get in or get you in on a play. I'm here to, again, give you my thoughts on what I am doing. Of course, you can see. Again, I know all it takes is 1 to 2 trades to be able to make some big cash. That's all it takes. 1 to 2 trades. Last week I averaged $1,500 per day, right? There are some days I traded 4 to 5 times. There are some days I traded twice. But the thing is, the days are so long, all you got to wait for is that one, nice opportunity. WKHS, there we go, trying to get a little bit of movement. Let's see how high this one can go. I do want to look for a possible short here, as I've been talking about. So WKHS, PSV, there you go, still moving on up. Let's see how much more WKHS has left in the tank here. I want to see if that one can get a little bit of a pop. Closer to $19, the better, I think, for us. We also, again, if we take a look over on WKHS, we do have a nice uptrend. The stock has been holding this nice uptrend throughout this whole entire period. So, when in doubt, we could also just say to ourselves, hey, we can buy in at the crack of the uptrend. I would definitely like to see this all the way up towards around that $19 area or so. And again, we can also say to ourselves, why are we looking for that area? Well, $19 is going to be right near, again, this top upper shadow. It's also going to be at the top of these upper candles. That did get up towards around 1975. And then we also have, again, the candles right here, which is right around that 1910 mark of these real bodies of the candle. So we do have little breaks here and there of course, how high these stocks can go up to. I'm thinking probably right around like $19, $19. I think it would be the perfect short on WKHS. Right now, are some shippers starting to move? I mean, we're seeing a couple little shippers, right? PXS starting to go. PXS was a stock in 2018 I was able to make $28,000 on, right? That was a really good one. That one's over on my YouTube channel. My biggest trade, of course, this year so far was, I think, what was it, $30,000, right? That was a great trade for us. PSV, again, we'll see how low this can go back down towards. Does have the VWAP right around 107. Support would be back down towards around that 105, 104 mark. We could get a great bounce play pretty soon. So right now, my top 2 watches, I am interested on WKHS. I don't want to pull the trigger too early, but I think WKHS is a great play that is, again, starting to move its way on up. So again, WKHS, these could be, again, nice short areas pretty soon. But I think that stock is starting to get a little bit of momentum. I don't want to see any sort of red candle. I want to see WKHS still, just consistently grind here. So I see WKHS, consistently moving up very nicely right now. And I want this to, maybe get one little overextended pop where we start saying to ourselves, oh, wow, okay, that was a nice move. We can see it's definitely having a little bit of resistance right now. What we can, of course, play is this uptrend, which means we can wait for a possible crack of the uptrend. Let's see if it starts getting a little bit of a red candle. I want to see if this stock's going to try to pop on up even higher. This $19 mark is a great area, of course, for a strong resistance line. We did just go from 1836 up towards around 1890. So that was kind of the strongest green we've seen in a little bit. I just want WKHS to break through that $19 mark. Now, I know, again, it hasn't been an insane jump around, go crazy, take your shirt off and run down the street naked type of day, but it's definitely been, a nice consistent day of, some nice consistent climbing so far. PSV right now, again, still trying to hold on up. And WKHS looks like it's getting a little bit weaker. Yeah, look at WKHS starting to get weaker on this play. So it looks like we're probably going to be setting ourselves up, I would say, inside like a little bit of an ascending triangle pattern. I may look for a possible short soon on this one. I just want to see if it's going to, try to build its way back on up. Yeah, NIO trying to move its way back on up as well. That had an offering this morning. Had an offering and is moving its way back on up. That's very nice to see. Right now, WKHS still, again, looking for that little bit of that pop. Still looking for that climb. Sitting right around the 1880s. Starting to get a little bit weaker. Let's see here. Guys, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to pull the trigger here starting off. First trade of the day. I'm going 2,000 shares. Just pulled the trigger on this one. And the reason I say that is because I do think we are starting to top out a little bit. So I'm going to pull the trigger. 2,000 shares on the short side at 1878. And what I'm expecting to happen right here is the trend line to crack. So what I'm ultimately looking for on this play right now is this stock to crack its trend line and then start falling apart from there. So obviously the main goal is going to be what? To see the stock spike on up, hit the trend line, and then crack and fall apart. That's what I want to see, happen over on WKHS. So again, we're waiting for that big time drop. And as I said, we're looking for this. We're looking for that. We're looking for the crack and the dump, right? The crack and the dump. So I'm in slightly early right here, but I do see the stock slightly arching a little bit. So I see the stock slightly arching a little bit. If we start seeing 1870s again, we will be good. If I see around 1890 to 1895, I will probably get out and move on and maybe look for a higher entry. But right now I'm looking for, if we can get a little bit of an arch, let's see one more red candle, I think I'm going to be in the clear for a nice long hold on the downside. So I just shorted this play, 2,000 shares at 1878, as you guys can see. And now again, looking for this one to drop back on down. So I just want to make sure everyone's good. WKHS shorting 2K shares at, again, 1878. So what I would like to see on this play is going to be a nice crack of that that uptrend. And when that uptrend cracks, that's when I think we'll be able to get paid out very well. So again, I'm currently up 40 bucks at this time. Nothing really too crazy, but I'm looking for, again, that trend line to look weak. And as long as we stay beneath 1870, that's where, again, we start getting, some nice profit. So again, currently up 220 bucks right now, watching for that uptrend to start cracking. And once that uptrend starts cracking, we should see it dump back down towards, I think, eventually 1830 to 1820. So again, nice little play so far. Trend line starting to get a little bit of a crack here. And all we're looking for, again, is something along these lines. Because once we go from the bullish side to the bearish side, that's where, again, the stock starts moving. And there we go, guys. Nice crack back down towards the 1850s. Currently up $300. So, again, currently up about $300. Now, again, we want to see the stock, continue to fall back on down. The trend line may get tested a few times here and there. As long as we stay below 1875, I'm good. So as long as we stay below 1875, I'm pretty happy with my short. Now, I am seeing that we are on the bearish side of this play. I am thinking about maybe adding one more round of 1,000 shares. And then from there, if I ever went back up to my entry, I'd probably just get out from there. So I do want to see if this is going to try to get one last little pop, because we are on the bearish side of this trend line. And the bearish side does mean possible dump off soon. So that's why I'm just kind of watching this really quickly here. I'm currently up 220 bucks, which again, I'm happy with. $220 is a nice little profit. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna add one more 1,000 shares. So I just added one more 1,000 shares, guys. Just did that right now. So again, 3,000 shares I just added, and now my new cost basis is 1873. So my new cost basis at this time is 1873. The reason why I added 1,000 shares is because I see we're on the bearish side of the trend line. And being on the bearish side of the trend line gives me a lot of, confidence in this play, as now, again, we're starting to transition from, again, a bullish stock to now being on the bearish stock. So more shares I have, the more money I can make. And if I'm on the right side of the play, from the bullish side to the bearish side, I can go ahead and make more money, right? So again, let me make this a little bit smaller here. And what I'm going to be looking for is for this stock to, again, hold this and continue to drop, right? What I want to see right here is this stock, continue to fall, get weak, and start dropping on off. So I have 3,000 shares now, looking for this stock to, collapse on itself, go back down towards around the 1840s or so. Currently up $470 at this time. 3,000 shares each. I'm going to type out at this time WKHS to 1,500 share increments. 1,500 share increments so I can buy it, sell, and then I'll have one more buy, sell order that I'll be all set for. So that's where I'm currently at right here. My stop loss is going to be if I see anything above 1875. So I'm only going to give it maybe 2 to 3 cents. I don't want it going above 1875, but we have our uptrend. Now we have our downtrend, and we have our top resistance around 1875. I want to see the crack below 1850. Here it goes. There it goes, baby. Now we're going to take 1,000 shares. We're going to take 1,000 shares, and we're going to let the other half go all the way down towards around 1840. I'm not allowing the stock to go above 1855. Not allowing the stock to go above 1855. Little heads up for everyone. Okay? So right now, still holding. I want it going back below 1840. 1855. I'm giving it maybe 2 more seconds here. I'll give it a little bit more time. But again, don't make me go back on my word here. There we go. Back down to 1845. Here we go. 1850. Let's see that drop. Come on. Come on, WKHS. Pay the team. Pay the beautiful people on TradeCaster. The absolutely stunning people over on YouTube. Guys, not only are we the best chat room in the world, but I don't mean to brag, but we may be the best looking chat room in the world. You guys look absolutely beautiful. If you guys don't know, I can see through your webcam as well. And I got to say, you are looking great today. Give yourself a little smile, kiddo. All right, there you go. So right now, WKHS, we're crushing it. So everyone, again, smile and wave at the webcam and say, Dek, you are one creepy little fellow. So right now, WKHS right here, this stock is continuing to fall back on down. Again, I'm only kidding about the webcam stuff, guys. I cannot see you. But I do think you're probably a great-looking person. And I'm probably going to lock this in right here, guys, in a second. Let's lock this in. Boom. There we go. $860 in profit. So $860 in profit. Absolutely awesome. And, that's absolutely great. So hopefully you guys crush that one as well. You guys make that money with me. Here's again my full P&L. You guys can see absolutely everything. $860 profit on a nice little drop right here. And it wasn't like that play was anything too difficult, was it? No, again, that was just a nice, easy climber that, that just showed us, hey, as long as we follow our rules, we'll be all set. And what's our rules? The textbook rule is when a stock goes from the bullish side to the bearish side, let's look to short it, right? When a stock goes from a bullish side to the bearish side, let's look to short these plays. So again, that's absolutely beautiful. $860 profit right there. That's absolutely great. Just got to throw that over. Just got to put the big bold font right there, $860. And again, nice little way to kind of get my morning going, right? I don't need to trade sometimes 50 times to go ahead and make some profit. That was a nice, slow, easy play, guys, right? That was nice, slow, easy play. But how funny is it that when we play these stocks, when we trade these stocks, sometimes that's all we need, right? So a lot of times people think, the more you trade, the more money you make, which is not true. It's all about more just waiting for the nice setups, the great setups for us. So again, nice $860 profit right here. That was, again, it got us in the game, got us, some nice profit to kind of kick off our Money Monday. And just like that, all I need is maybe another $1,000 trade to kind of kick things off. And WKHS starting to kind of break back on up right here. Absolutely beautiful. So again, nice way to kind of kick off our day for our nice trade. It took me an hour. It took me an hour to find a good, rewarding play, but finally we got it. So again, everyone else who was in on that play, great work, great job. All right, so let's see here. let's go over to let me just put this alive for you guys. And I just always like to post my P&L. But if you guys ever need anything, you know, I always do everything 100% transparent. And again, great job if you guys, got in on that play as well. So you guys absolutely deserve it. I know a lot of you guys have been crushing it today. What do we have so far? Sadie, $288. Hiroshima, $420. Trade Life, $200. Sadie, another $2,600. Active Trader, $167. Marano, $3,447. Hooli, $300. Casanova Trader, $1,500. Solo Trader, $120. $300 for Sanj. Damien, $1,600. $460. The Bull, $374. Active Trader again. Great work, guys. Keep crushing it. Yeah, man, that's all I did. You know, I waited for that perfect trade, and then I went after it. Absolutely. So again, WKHS, nice short for $860 profit to start off my Money Monday. So again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns on that trade, please let me know, and I'm happy to help. Also, again, I'll even look over on YouTube. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with anything you need. Nice job again, John Aduk. Thank you again for the Twitter shout out. You're always doing those. Again, I always appreciate those. Absolutely crushed it as well on his trade today. Again, great job, great work. But sometimes, again, that's all you need. A nice slow play, right? Sometimes it's good. Just kick back a little bit, throw your feet up, right? You know, that's all we need sometimes. Just kick back a little bit, throw your feet up, drink a little bit of a margarita, listen to some Jimmy Buffett, right? And just relax, right? Maybe not the margarita part, but, you know, if you like Jimmy, you can throw that on. But, you know, stock trading doesn't need to be super stressful. Stock trading should be nice and easy, nice and smooth. Right? That's all it is. It's just, you know, going through the motions nice and smooth. That's what it's all about right there. So let's see what else we have here. Because WKHS, you could see how it cracked the trend line. WKHS falling back on down towards around that 815 mark. Absolutely great. We do have PSV, guys. Look at PSV. PSV, that's where we got to be looking right here. So PSV, this is a stock at this time that's just been, you know, very solid so far. So PSV, very solid, and there's that 138 mark. Now, again, I am expecting pullback and probably a bounce along the VWAP. That would probably be best. Pullback and then bounce along the VWAP. Dak, you explained that trade perfectly. Thank you so much. Absolutely awesome. No problem at all. Jeremy, Sean, how much is the room and how what do you think is a good starting account size? The number one thing I always suggest if you guys are interested, of course, in stock trading is before you even start stock trading, you must learn the strategy and paper trade. So many people say, oh, I can't sign up to TradeCaster right now because I don't have enough funds to actually start trading, when that's not the case at all. When you first start stock trading, I want you paper trading for at least 3 months. Learn the strategy, watch me trade, learn from the video library, and of course, you know, learn from all our members. You know, the more you learn something, the more or better you're going to be. So I don't want anyone to ever sign up with $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 who has never traded before and then start trading right away. I've never met anyone who's done that and been successful. Every single person who signs up, of course, and, you know, starts trading right away, they usually end up taking a loss because you have to follow the right steps. And that's, of course, with anyone in trading. You know, the right steps is learn the right way to trade. After you learn the right way to trade, then move into a real account. So paper trade first, get the knowledge, and then go after it. You know, two things you really need to learn in stock trading is, of course, experience, and have the knowledge of it, right? You could have the knowledge of something, but you don't have the experience of something. Or you could have the experience and not have the knowledge. You know, what would be an example of this? You could be a person who knows all about sports. Let's say you know all about basketball. You know all about the game of basketball. You know all about stats. You know all about LeBron James. You know about all the rules. You know everything about basketball. But let's think, you know, maybe you're a person that weighs 340 pounds who have never touched a basketball, and all you do every single day is just eat buckets of ice cream while LeBron James dunks on people. Like, the thing is, you have a lot of knowledge on the sport, but you're not good at the sport. Just because you know what LeBron James can do doesn't mean that you can do it. Or you can maybe have a lot of experience playing it. Maybe, again, you dribble a basketball every day to school and you walk home and you shoot shots, but you never even learned any of the rules. You need a combination of both. You need to know how the game works, and then you need to be out there practicing so you have the experience to be able to do the things that you want to do. So knowledge comes through, again, from learning in the video library, and experience comes through with paper trading. Once you put those together, then you learn. But you can't expect to open up an account and be like, hey, ready to be a millionaire. You don't know anything yet. Same exact thing if you never picked up a basketball or a football. You can't walk out to the NFL and say, hey, boom, I'm ready to trade. And you say, well, Dek, I'll just follow what you do. And that can work on some of these slower plays. But, just think about it. Okay, hey, I could tell you what to do. It doesn't mean you're going to have the experience of, knowing how to do it, right? You walk onto the Patriots or now the Buccaneers and Tom Brady is there and you say, hey, Tom, just tell me what to do. I'll be the quarterback. Just tell me what to do. You say, all right, hey, we're going to run a flag route, do a hard count, get a 3-stop drop back, watch her again, the wide receiver going across the middle, throw a nice, 40-yard pass, and again, get a touchdown score. All right, sounds easy enough, break. But the thing is, you don't even know what a hard count is. You don't even know what a 3-step drop back is. You start again, you hike it. Now you got these linemen chasing you. Now again, you got to toss it 40 yards. What the heck? There's defenders there. What's going on? And then you run over after getting, absolutely demolished and say, Tom, you told me what to do. That didn't work out. And Tom goes, hey, have you practiced? Have you ever thrown a football? Have you ever again played a football game? No, I've never done any of that. Well, what do you expect? It's the same exact thing with, stock trading. If you never again, stock traded before, I can tell you the right steps, of course, but you got to put in the drills. You got to do it. You got to gain the experience, right? Because again, you can't say, oh, Dek, you told me what to do and it didn't work out. Well, have you ever done it before? No. Have you ever traded before? No. Why did you win and I did? Why did Tom Brady throw a perfect pass, over the defender and get a touchdown, but I couldn't? Well, because again, more experience, more work. We're not saying you can't get to that level, but again, always go in willing to work and willing to put in the work. That's what it's, stock trading is about. And that's when a lot of people lose, seeing on social media, and people lose that mentality, seeing all these things. They're motivated and, inspired to work or to start trading, but they're not inspired to kind of do that pre-training. We all want money now and right away. Oh, I got to paper trade first. Oh, I got to learn first. I was just hoping I could just follow you what you're doing, right? There's you can do that to a certain extent, but you can't do that for absolutely everything. I don't want, followers. I want leaders. And that's what tradecaster.com is all about. I'm not here to, again, tell you exactly I want to make you guys into leaders of stock trading. Be successful, independent traders, right? So that's what it's all about right there. So right here, we're keeping our eyes peeled. PSV, guys. PSV. It's where the action's going. PSV trying to get, again, a lot of hype. I'm going to wait for the big bounce play on this stock. Right now, as you guys know, I'm currently up about $860 for my WKHS trade. Again, absolutely awesome. $860 on the dot. And now, again, I'm waiting for, possibly PSV to get a nice hard pullback and then maybe look for an entry on this one, maybe back down towards around the VWAP. WKHS, if WKHS ever starts spiking back on up, we can definitely look for another entry there. We also, where's NTNX at? NTNX, that got up towards where? 1930-ish, and then had a nice pullback back down towards 28.70. That's a nice, 60-cent pullback. This stock right here may be starting to turn again as well. This may be a nice little short on this play. Notice again, we got a little bit of a downtrend starting to form. That would be a nice little downtrend play. We do have, again, NTNX. Where is that play at right here? Top resistance right around 29.20. I like this. I may look for a possible short over here over on NTNX. That stock could have some tough resistance on this. Start falling back on down. Maybe one more little touch of like 29.20. That could be a nice little fade back on down. PSV, though, is where most volume is at. All right, so PSV is where most volume's at. PSV is where most activity's at. But again, especially for everyone over on YouTube, we got our small account challenge starting on up. You know, for sure, we offer a free 7-day pass over on Tradecaster. Get over here. Let's start working together, right? You know, we do this every single day. Let's work together. Absolutely free. You don't have to pay until the 7th day. And if you're not 100% happy, cancel before the 7th day. No charge whatsoever. So again, there's no problem whatsoever coming out, enjoying the whole entire free week and going from there. I look forward to working with each and every single one of you guys. So right now, PSV, of course, this is the #1 stock that we're going to be diving into. And then, of course, looking for that break of 150. PSV, probably the bounce is going to be back down towards around 118. What about KC? KC right here. KC, again, nice little pop, $35 up towards around $36.50. You know, I would probably say $37.50. That's like these old highs right here. So I'd probably say right around $37.50 would be the best area. PSV, 150 is going to be a lot of resistance. So 150 is going to be a nice resistance line. Notice, we're all the way back up at highs, right? PSV, I'm waiting for a big pullback. I think PSV could definitely be a stock that's going to push me up towards some, new profit areas. I think PSV, again, this is a play that if it came all the way back down towards around the VWAP at around 120, 125, I think, again, we could be able to make some nice profit. PSV, little heads up for you guys. If this stock ever spiked up to, we can look at this on the level 2. If PSV ever spiked up towards 168, that's when it would get halted. So that would be a strong move. And LULD is at 112. So that would be, again, a very hard drop. So I don't see this spiking or getting dropped from halting anytime soon. Where are we at here? VVPR trying to slowly move on up. What did that come down to? That was down towards around the 650s. So VVPR still has a long way to go, because to get the big time volume, it needs to get back up near the open. The open's at around $8. So that needs to get all the way back up above that, that $8 mark to really start getting that hype. We do have WKHS, a little bit of that bounce back on up towards around that 1867 mark there for a moment. We'll see if this is going to be able to continue to move. I'm waiting for PSV to kind of fall apart, crack the trend line and start falling apart. That's what I want to see. So let's see if that can do that. And I actually want it to, because this stock has great potential to be able to spike big later on. Right, so this stock has great potential to be able to spike big later on. PSV could definitely be able to rip above 150. So that's why, again, this has so much potential. PSV is a stock that has ran all the way up towards around $3 before. Who can name off all the big $1 spikers, all the $1 breakout plays that we have seen over the past week? We've seen a lot. Who can name all the $1 breakouts that we have seen? We've seen IGC, right? That was a great one. We've been able to see PSV. That's been a great one. There's about 2 others I got to do the research on real quick because I'm blanking out on those. So we've seen those go on some nice big rips and runs. Right? GEVO, VIVE, thank you. All right, those are the ones I was thinking of. So again, we've seen so far IGC. IGC went from 60 cents all the way up to 4.50. We saw GEVO go from 50 cents all the way up to $2. We saw VIVE go from 50 cents towards around 140, right? BRQS, that one went from $1 up to $2.30. So yeah, and notice how all of them have been recent. Like if we look at these plays, all of them have been in like the past month, right? So if we take a look over on GEVO, GEVO's gone from 90 cents all the way up to 219, right? If we take a look over on VIVE, this one has been in the past month, 52 cents all the way on up, right? BDR right here, BDR went from 70 cents to $4. Yeah, PER, that was one on Friday or a couple days ago, 30 cents all the way up towards 86 cents. So, I mean, it's been a very hot time for these smaller stocks, right? And you guys can notice that. It's like, well, okay, there's kind of like a common trend here. That seems like, all these plays are starting to spike really big that are, stocks that are underneath $1. So maybe it's something that you want to write down. Maybe it's something you want to continue to keep your eyes peeled on. And again, just always want to be helping out some different traders and such. So again, right now, team, we're just staying smart, getting ready to rock. PSV float 8 million. So we got about 8 million in float. What I'm looking for is, again, a nice drop back on down. And this could drop back on down. That'll show some weakness. Yeah, so again, Trade Life saying I'm not in yet, but getting in some good level 2 training, watching this morning. Yeah, absolutely perfect. So again, just watching the level 2. And that's, a great thing to always do, team. One of the best things to always do is watch the level 2. So we can look at PSV right now and we could say what to ourselves? Well, anytime PSV goes below 140, that shows weakness. So what we always want to see right now, as I always look at a level 2, you got the bids versus the ask. The bids are the buyers, the ask are the sellers. The bids are the buyers, the ask are the sellers. Right now, the bids obviously want the stock to move on up, but the bids are trying to hold 140. If we start cracking 140, that means the ask is currently winning. Right now, we're in a neutral zone, which means if we go below 140, watch for how many sell orders are going to start popping on up as it looks like the bids are giving up. If we start breaking back above 145, watch how fast the time and sales will start moving as bids think they are winning. So again, a lot of times I think of it as like a constant battle going back and forth, where right now it's basically, hey, if we can stay above 140, we're going to show strength. If we get pushed back to 139, 138, that's where we're going to start seeing a drop. If the ask again starts retreating up towards 145, 146, 147, that's where the bids are going to start showing strength. So right now we're just between 142 and 143. If we start dropping, watch this, 140s, we got a couple orders that we got to be able to hold up. 140s, notice how it's picking on up. Now again, the ask is starting to take over. Now it drops down to 132. Notice that, right? How cool was that? We were just able to predict that we were going to see strong selling volume because of what? Because the bids and the ask battling right there, right? The bid and the ask were battling right there. Isn't that cool how we can see strong selling volume and we notice these things because, again, the bid and the ask are starting, starting to battle. So right now it's getting even weaker. This stock, has room to fall back down towards around 123 or so. We could definitely see a little bit of a bounce play coming up on this play, but notice how neat that is that we could just say to ourselves, hey, when 140 cracks, watch for the ask to start moving on in on this play. Watch for, again, for some big sellers on these type of plays because that shows weakness in the play. Just like right now, the bids are getting beat up really good. This stock has room to fall, as we talked about, probably back down towards around this 122-ish area, right? So it's very cool to always watch and know how to read a level 2. And if you guys don't know how to read a level 2, again, what can you guys do? Just go over to, again, level 2, and you could just type in, reading a level 2, or actually just type in this. Let's just go with, we just type in the word level, right? We're going to get level 2 introduction, how I use a level 2, stacking on the level 2, reading a level 2 manipulation. So again, get to the video library, type in the word level, and you're going to get all these different level 2 lessons. Now, on top of that, as I've talked about, guys, starting off with our small account challenge, we are also doing the biggest boot camp we've ever done, which is going over every single lesson in the video library and giving it a 2020 revision. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. But notice, again, when you look at these plays, how you're able to figure this stuff out. So I'm looking for PSV. Yeah, I'm looking for PSV to start dropping as well. I want to see, again, how low could this possibly go down to? 110. Again, it's going to be a little tricky to be able to figure out how low this could possibly drop down to. I do think we are going to touch that VWAP. That VWAP is going to be a nice area. Trying to hold on up. Again, we're looking for some more trades, of course. How's WKHS? WKHS trying to hold on up. Came back up to... Ooh, WKHS just came up back up towards around that 1880 mark. Just came back up towards around that 1880 mark. NTNX starting to get a little bit weaker. Let's go back to over to WKHS here for a moment. 1867, 1868. Stock may try to possibly get a little bit of a break back above that 1875 mark. Could be another short on our way. Right? Could have another possible short on our way. Right now, we are inside a channel. We could still get a short from 1860 back on down towards around like 1820 or so. Another 3,000 share order. That could be pretty nice. I'm going to have a final date, guys. I'm going to have a final date for you on when we're starting the small account challenge by either Friday or Monday. Okay? So the date of when the small account challenge is going to be coming on out is either going to be on Friday or on Monday. Okay? A little heads up so everyone's all set, ready to go. Amazon going a nice little move today. So yeah, so Amazon's going a nice little move. I can see that. Tesla's, moving on up through 460s up towards 470s. That probably means Apple's moving on up as well. That probably means the SPY hitting brand new record highs. So the SPY again trying to break up through that 350-ish mark. Dad Tempo, what's up, buddy? So I know that guy. So right now, team, again, all we're doing is keeping our eyes peeled, watching to see, again, where these next rips are going to be. So right now, it's all about just staying smart, getting ready for the next rips, and getting ready for the next runs. It's 10:54 right now. We are coming down towards 11 o'clock. Number one thing we should be focusing on right now is PSV. So I've only had, again, one trade so far today, as you guys have seen. One trade so far. I'm currently up $860 on the day. So currently up $860 on the day. Next play is definitely coming on up. We do have 122 VWAP bounce play if you're interested on that PSV. I am thinking we're going to see a few little cracks underneath it. So I'm not going to touch on the VWAP right now. So here's my one trade, as you know, I got into at the time of 10:23 and 10:30. It's been more of just like a slow and steady type of movement today, right? It's been more of like slow and steady little spurts of life, right? PSV has been a solid play. PSV has been a very solid play. WKHS looks like it's getting a little bit weak. That was the stock I shorted. And then NTNX, getting a little bit weak. What I think we should do right now, guys, is start talking about why these plays have ripped and ran on the way they have. The best thing to be able to figure out on why these stocks are moving the way they are is to figure out from the base, the core, on why they are spiking, so we can find stocks like this in the future. This is one of the best free homework assignments that you guys can do every single day. Just go over to www.finviz.com and just look at the tickers. We have our top gainer, top gainer, top gainer, top gainer, top gainer, top gainer. Figure out, again, what's going on right here on why all these stocks are top gainers. And if you can figure out on why all these stocks are top gainers, you'll be able to figure out, again, future top gainers. Because every single top gainer is a top gainer for a reason. If you say to yourself, okay, why is PSV a top gainer? It's a top gainer for a reason. If you're saying, again, why did, GB go on a nice big spike today? Right over here, this was a top gainer for a reason. Why are we seeing, WKHS get a little bit of action today? It's a top gainer for a reason. Now, most of the time, top gainers are top gainers because of one of two reasons, and that's either because of news or chart setup. It could be because of both. So right now, WKHS getting a little bit of a drop, and PSV, we're watching to see if that's going to crack the VWAP and come a little bit lower. But let's start breaking some of these stocks down. Why in the world is PSV not a top, or why in the world is PSV a top gainer right now? Well, if we take a look, the last press release we see is August 27th on PSV, right? August 27th. Today is August 31st. So you might say, oh, well, that news doesn't really mean anything if it's August 27th. Well, it's always great to see what the last press release was. And the last press release they're announcing an appeal of the New York Stock Exchange delisting determination right here. So if you guys don't know what a delisting is, it is something that you probably need to know, have a little experience to understand why PSV is running. PSV is making this move because no one wants to get delisted. When you get delisted from the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, you go back to the OTC market, or they just take their company off completely. They don't want to be public anymore. So to not get delisted, it is required to stay above the $1 mark for at least 90 days. Usually they give you a 90-day grace period to get back above the $1 mark. But usually when traders see, oh wow, they're getting delisted, a couple things run through a trader's mind. Number one is they're getting delisted, they're going to pump up their own company, which sometimes we see. We'll see a whole bunch of Form 4s then come out as the company buys their own shares. Let's see if we have any. So we can take a look right here. PSV, we don't have any Form 4s. Form 4s means insiders are buying. But what is happening at this time? PSV, since we came out on August 27th, massive green candle, massive green candle, massive green candle. So why is this stock spiking so well? Well, we came out on August 27th saying that they're getting delisted. As we know now, you need to be above $1 for at least 90 days to not be delisted. Now, we aren't seeing any sort of Form 4s, so what could that mean? That could mean two different things. Either traders, day traders like ourselves, are doing what? Are just buying the stock because everyone's saying, oh wow, it has to get above $1. Everyone just keeps buying, and now it has a whole bunch of momentum. Or it could also be what we call like a little bit of a rat hole, where there could be like CEOs or insiders basically telling other people, friends, family, cousins, other people that they work with that maybe aren't inside the company, hey, buy up our company, buy the stock on up, let's get us above $1, I'll give you, money for it. Something along those lines. Because no one wants to get taken off the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ because they're on it to make money. So sometimes, again, we see companies pump up their own plays. You can see them on legit Form 4s. Sometimes we see, rat holes, which would be like manipulation in some sort of sense. Or again, sometimes it's day traders saying, hey, the stock needs to get above $1. Everyone, let's start buying this play. And a whole bunch of people just go ahead and start buying that stock. So we see that happen a lot of times. So PSV, is this stock up on a credible reason? Yeah, for sure. PSV is up on a credible reason right here. And that's why it's gone on a nice rip and run. So whenever we see delisted, let's understand something. Let's understand that maybe we are going to see a spike above $1 because that's where the stock needs to stay above. So right here, again, if you're saying, Dek, how low do you think the stock is going to go down towards? The best thing to do is look at past chart history pattern. And I'm actually going to switch over to a 2-minute time frame for a moment. And I just want to see where's the best area that has had old resistance and old support in the past. And where I see is, again, I see a great little top, of course, right here. So I'm just going to put a little support right here. I see a great little top right here. I see a great bottom right here. I see a great bottom right here. Great top right here. Great top right here. That's all the way back down near around $1. Now that's a little bit too low. So let's try to, scroll up a little bit and let's see if this one looks a lot better. This, I got a bottom right here. I got a bottom right here. I got a top right here. I got this nice top, right? This is a nice top right in the middle right here. And then we have top. So I would think probably the best bounce play is going to be somewhere around 110. So if we're taking a look on this play right now, I probably think 110 would probably be the best bounce play on PSV if this stock does start, falling back on down. Now, I'm not saying, this stock's going to go PSV from 110 all the way up towards 150, but you can definitely go maybe 110 up towards 116, 110 up towards 118. And the stock is so low in price, you could probably buy 5,000, 10,000 shares. So you could be able to make, some good money. So yeah, I'm thinking right around that 110 mark, PSV would be probably the best bounce play. But if we're recapping why the stock has gone on a nice move, it makes sense. Now, when a stock makes sense, it's going to go on a best play. And why does it make sense? Well, again, it's getting pushed on up because it needs to get above $1 in price. So it all makes sense on this play. 110 next bounce play. Look at WKHS. Ooh, look at that short, guys. WKHS, we actually may be able to look for a bounce play momentarily. Let's look. Where would, again, best bounce play be? Back down towards around 1790. If WKHS comes back down towards around 1790, we actually may get a nice bounce play because we just had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles in a row coming back down towards a nice support line. 1790 could actually be a nice little bounce. Let's actually watch that for a moment. So WKHS, going to keep my eyes peeled on this one. See if maybe the stock, gets a nice little drop back on down because look how many red candles we just had. We do have some nice support, as I talked about, back down in the 1790 region. We might get a nice little bounce play right here, and then we could sell back up near around 1822, which would be the VWAP. So we'll look for a nice crack. This was the stock I shorted on this crack. Notice how hard this crack was on this short, though. So again, that was a nice drop right here. So let's see if this thing is going to fall. I actually may look for a possible short on this play. Or not a short, a long entry on a dip buy if this one can hold on up. So WKHS, come down a little bit lower. But WKHS, this was a top gainer this morning. This stock went from $17 all the way up towards around $19. And we say to ourselves, why? What's the reasoning behind this play? And it is easy when we break it down, right? When we break the stock down, we can really just look at the news. And we look at the news and we say to ourselves, is there some sort of credibility on why this stock made the move that it did? And if we take a look over on WKHS, what do we have? We entered into a strategic agreement with these two companies, Hitachi and Hitachi Capital America. So if we went into an agreement with, again, this company, what's going to be happening? Well, that's great news, right? We see this play right here, and we see that right now, we look at WKHS, 3-star word. Keywords look for in hot press releases. 3-star word, what do? We study, we know the word agreement is always going to bring in great momentum. We know agreement is going to bring in great hype. We know agreement is going to bring in great activity. So agreement, that's a nice stock. That's a nice press release we always want to be looking for. That's a nice key word right there. So we see the word agreement on WKHS. WKHS also has the nice 13 EMA bounce play, and the stock, was able to go on this very nice climb and very nice move. So again, I do see the stock eventually falling all the way back down towards around this like 1750-ish mark, because that's where a lot of support is in the past. But I do think we could get a nice bounce play, I think somewhere right around this like 17. Let's see how low this thing can possibly go to. I'm thinking about a possible bounce play soon. If you guys just got filled in the 1790s, I don't mind it. I do think you can get some bounce plays here and there, right? And again, I'm even thinking about it because look how many red candles we just saw. So many red candles right there. So many red candles. So I'm thinking about a possible entry on this one. Over on WKHS. Let's see if it's going to crack down towards maybe the 1780s. Just came down towards around the 1786 mark. Just trying to hold on up just a little bit right here. 1780s. Just trying to hold on up a little bit. Again, we do have a nice little bounce area. Nice little bounce area. You guys got filled in the 1790s, 1780s. Not bad. Not bad so far. So if it gets back above $18, we may see that bounce back up towards around that $18.20 mark. I just want to see how low this thing's going to go. I'm looking for a bounce play. Looking for a bounce play on this. Next bounce area we see is all the way back down towards around the 1770s. And you're saying, Dek, why are you buying this play? The stock, yes, had a good press release, but the stock, has been on a very large downtrend the past, 30 minutes. Well, the thing is, with every sort of reaction, there's an opposite reaction. Just like when there's a big time spike, you see a nice big pullback. When there's a nice big pullback, again, you're going to see a nice bounce play. So I'm looking again, where's that bounce play going to be? Can we get involved with that bounce play? Can we make money on this bounce play? So again, we're just, continuing to watch to see how much lower this thing can go down towards, because we haven't really been able to see this thing, start spiking its way back on up. What we can do is wait for the crack of the downtrend. When we see this downtrend crack, we know that we are shifting from the bearish side to the bullish side. What happened here, team? What happened when we went on this side from the bullish side to the bearish side? We got a nice big drop. So what do you think would happen if we go from the bearish side, consolidate, and switch over to the bullish side? We could see a nice possible climb and a pop back on up. So we still have, again, the resistance probably going to be right around 1796 or so. I think it needs to consolidate for about another, 2 minutes or so before the stock starts moving back on up. But I will look for another possible entry on this play. WKHS. Trying to get, again, a little bit of that hype. $18 top resistance. It was just about to pull the trigger. You can see my position box, and you'll see exactly when I pull the trigger on this play. If it does come back on down, again, I'm not going to be doing that, but I'm just kind of ready for this. So still getting a little bit of a drop here. See how it's slowly trying to cross, though? Just trying to cross that downtrend. So I would like to be able to add, maybe a few $100 on this scalp right here. That's what I would like to do. Really quickly, just want to look to make sure we're not missing anything. CRDF trying to get a little bit of volume. Yeah, Tesla up 7% today. That's absolutely insane. That's a huge move. See Tesla up 7% on the day. That's huge. Is NTNX also heading on up? NTNX also trying to head on up. That could be a nice little, short position as well. But I am watching WKHS to see if this is going to drop. It's still looking like it's going to drop right here. It needs to get back above $18. If it can get back above $18, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on maybe about 2,000 shares. And just because I think we could maybe get back up towards around 1810 to 1820. I'll be straightforward with you guys on this. If I do pull the trigger on WKHS right here, it's not going to be for very long. I'm only going to maybe look for, maybe 10 to 15 cents. So I'm just, again, watching this one really closely. You'll be able to see exactly when I buy in, if I do buy in. But I do see that we are going from the bearish side to the bullish side, which, again, always brings in some great momentum on these plays. And I'm going to keep it very, very tight as well. 17, still trying to build. I'm just watching right now because it's still that $18 resistance still holding on up just slightly. So yeah, it's starting to go. I'm not in yet. I'm still a little hesitant. Still a little hesitant on this play, to be honest. Right around this $18 mark. That's why I'm just kind of watching it. Still a little bit hesitant on this play because I want to see if that is going to, get that big time break. 4,000 shares trying to hold on up. I want to because I want to see that spike back up to the VWAP. We are on the bullish side of the play, which is, again, good news. All right, I'll go. I'm going. 2,000 shares. I'll give it a go. 2,000 shares. Target on this play is going to be back up towards around 1815. 2,000 shares I'm looking at, and I'm trying to make a nice, maybe just, 1815, 1810 area. I'm not really trying to do much. I'm currently up only $44, but I'll give it a chance. Going from the bearish side to the bullish side. My entry right now is 1802. If I see 1796, I am out. 1796 is my exit entry. So again, I'm just going to give this a little bit of time. 1796 is my stop loss. I'm currently up $864. And again, I want to be able to make sure the stock's going to be able to hold that $18 mark. So a very small trade, small trade, but I'm just looking for maybe to add, $200 or so. So how would I get $200? I need to see the stock up towards around 1812. Right now I'm up $104, which is nice. Now again, I just need to see the nice little pop. Give me that nice little pop to the VWAP, baby. WKHS, again, 1821 would be the target on this play. 1821, I can shift over to, again, 1,000 share increments. So again, I want to see the stock, push back up to around 1810. So again, there's 1812, currently up $124. Let's lock in half. New stop loss is going to be 1805 or 1804. So again, there's new stop loss 1804, just locked in $115. Now I want to see this thing, pop on up even higher. So I'm currently up $994 on the day. And again, all we're doing is crossing from the bearish side to the bullish side. Now again, I want to sell anything above 1815. And again, I'm looking at the bids right here. My stop loss is 1805 to 1804. And I am out. So I'm out. There we go. Okay. Not much, but I just made, again, another $60, which pushed me up to $914. So I gave it a chance. Wasn't really too crazy, but again, got it up to $914 today. So again, just a little bit. Right? Just a little bit right there because I know that the VWAP's going to be holding up as resistance. It's really just more about, seeing the stock go from the bearish side to the bullish side. And then that's why I only did 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares wasn't really that big. I was more just looking for, a nice trade to kind of just add $200. And that trade right there more just, was a nice little profit. Here's my entries and exits. I got in at 1803 and then out at 1809 and 1802. So again, I was able to add about $65 on that trade. So it wasn't anything, significantly huge, but it kind of just kept it going a little bit. So yeah, small little baby trade, but you know what? That fills up the gas tank, right? That's all it is. Fills up the gas tank. Ooh, guys, PSV starting to come back down to a very nice area, back down towards around 110, 112. So PSV, this is actually starting to drop. I'm actually going to be interested in looking for a PSV trade, as look how low we are. We're all the way back down towards around this 110, 115-ish mark. So that's actually good. So PSV down towards a very nice low, 10,000 shares. I'm probably thinking market order here. Yeah, let me actually, boom. I'm going in 10,000 shares on PSV. We're all the way down to 110 support. I just bought in on 10,000 shares at PSV. So again, I'm doing this. That's $100 per penny moved. I'm going to look for a bounce back up towards around 119. So again, I just bought in on PSV. I didn't realize the stock was all the way back down towards around 110. I just bought in at the 114-ish area. So I'm looking for the stock to break, get back up above, and then try to sell somewhere up near around 120. So again, this stock I think has great 110, 111 support. And now again, I'm looking for a break back and a little bit of a U shape up towards around the VWAP. So that's my goal on this play. See a nice little break of 115 and then see the stock back up towards around those highs. So there's a $100 profit. And if I can just make somewhere between $200 to $300 on this trade, I think that would be pretty solid. So PSV, I'm going to put this on the top level too right now because we're looking for the bounce play. So we're looking for that bounce play, nice little green candle kind of kicking us off, kicking the party off right here. And then looking for this one to be able to U-shape up and around. So again, that's kind of where I'm looking at. Now, I may keep this one tight if we don't get that big bounce I want to see. Now, again, I'm in at, of course, 114 at this moment. I'm looking for the U-shape pattern. I want the bids back above 115. And then, again, bids back above 115 would push the stock back up towards maybe around like 118, 119. That would be a nice little profit. So right now, again, the bids are still doing well. We're trying to crack down that 115 mark. There's only one order at 115. I think the bids could easily push it. So again, I want to see the bids at 115. There's 115 on the bids. So again, there's 115 on the bids. Now again, we want to see 116 on the bids. Start getting away from that 115-ish mark. 5,000 shares. Right now, I'm going to cut my position in half here, team. I see it getting a little bit weak. Cutting my position in half to 1,500 shares. And yeah, I'm going to lock out. Okay, I'm going to sell here. I sold right there PSV just because I see a little bit of weakness. I lost $49, but I'm actually going to get back in momentarily because I was looking for the 115-ish break. Did not get it just yet. I'm going to probably look for another entry coming on up, but I just did not get my entry just yet. I lost $49. I'm still up $865 on the day. I do think we're going to get a nice bounce play, but again, I want to get it at the nice right area. So I want to get it at the right area. That's just very, very important to me. So I'm going to probably rebuy in on this bounce, pretty soon. And I think maybe that's actually going to be maybe 109, 108. New IPO. What do we got? AUVI. AUVI. Okay. $5 all the way up towards around 670. Yeah, Tesla's been insane. Tesla has been absolutely insane. This stock has had a nice big daily chart towards it. This has been a nice big daily chart over on Tesla. Look for a bounce play at around 480. I think 480 could be a great bounce play over on Tesla. I may switch over to my big account and just look for a nice bounce play on that thing. So again, I might switch over to my big account and look for a nice bounce play off Tesla because all I'm doing is playing the trend line. So I think maybe back down towards around this like 478, 479 mark on Tesla just because that is getting a little bit more, getting pretty overextended right there. PSV right here, again, I'm looking for a little bit of a bounce, maybe back down towards around 109. I was in at 114, but since I'm buying 10,000 shares, guys, every single penny that moves is $100. So I want to make sure I'm getting in at the right areas. So again, like if I buy in at 114 and I see 113 or 112, I do want to cut out pretty quick. So that's why, right now, I like, PSV for the bounce play. I just want to make sure I'm getting it as close to this blue line as I possibly can. So again, I'm up $860, which is great. I just want to be able to get as close to this, blue line as I possibly can, just because, that's where I see probably the best opportunities for us. Tesla right here, I'm actually going to switch over to my big account. Where's my big account at? Over on my E-Trade, I have $334,000, and I'm actually looking to see if I can maybe get a big bounce play over on this play over on Tesla. So Tesla could be a great bounce play stock for us, as this one's having a nice strong pullback, but we still have our trend line holding on up very well. So I'm actually going to switch over to this, keep my eyes peeled, and maybe look for like 1,000 shares on a nice bounce play on this play. So again, I'm just keeping my eyes peeled on this play, looking to see where the Tesla, next move is going to be. Come back down towards around that 480, or could be a little bit lower around 478. So again, we are all set, ready to go. Watching again for a nice little pullback. The more red candles there are, the more green candles there'll be. So again, that's something to always understand. With every reaction comes an opposite reaction. So, that's like PSV. PSV, we had a big time climb on up. We had a big time drop on off. But if we get a big drop on off, we could see a nice, pop back on up. So again, PSV, I'm waiting probably what I'm seeing right here. I was initially looking at around 110, but I still think we can get it a little bit lower. So I think maybe 106 could be actually the best area. And I just don't want to hold 10,000 shares hoping for that. Tesla right now, still again trying to hold on up. So Tesla's been on a beastly move so far today. That's gone from 443 all the way up towards around 493. So this is the trend line that I have on Tesla. Bounce plays at around 479 at this moment. And I will be watching that. I'm going to move this out of the way at this moment. So again, we got PSV still again watching to see if this is going to hold on up. And then Tesla is going for the $500 touch, it looks like. So Tesla is once again going up for around the $500 touch. Now, $500 is going to be a strong resistance line. It's a very big goal, right? So I would even expect maybe a possible break of that $500 mark, and then you could actually see a short back on down. I would say maybe if it gets up towards 505 or 510, I think that could be a nice short back on down, because I think you guys could actually be able to see a quick break and then a possible pullback. So right now, again, Tesla's still falling. You have a little bit of the downtrend right here. And if you guys do have any questions, comments, or concerns, right now is a great time to ask. It's been a great little Money Monday so far. I've had about 3 trades so far, so you guys can see we're definitely picking it up. 3 trades so far, $914 win with a $49 loss. And that's kind of like the best thing about trading. You can hold it as long as you want, and you can get out as quick as you want. So if a trade's not going your way, what's one of the best things to do? Get out and move on. If a trade is not going your way, one of the best things to do is just get out and move on. If a trade is going your way, hold on tight. So again, I had a trade going my way this morning. I was able to make $800. I added to that, made about $914. Then again, PSV, I just wasn't 100% comfortable with the trade I was in at that time. So I just wasn't 100% comfortable with getting in at around 114 because it still had some room to fall. So I got out for a $49 loss. I'm up $865 on the day. Right now, PSV is trying to get a little bit of that move back on up, and PSV right here is trying to get that U shape now. So watch the bids. See if the bids can be able to hold on up and start pushing this play up even higher. So if the bids can start getting 116, you'll start looking very good. Freedom Trader, do you trade pre-market? I haven't seen you do that. I haven't seen you do that much. Yeah, so pre-market, I absolutely love trading pre-market. The only issue is that, number one, since it's been August, we haven't been seeing as many big-time spikes. So August, we've been seeing, of course, a lot of limited press releases and a lot of limited hype in these press releases. So I haven't been trading a lot of pre-market. And number two, pre-market is also a very just busy time for me. And why is pre-market a busy time for me? Well, I got to wake up. I got to be able to help out all traders that need help in chat. On top of that, I got to write a morning newsletter that takes me about 2 hours to write every single day. So again, as you guys could imagine, the morning newsletter takes up a good chunk of time. I got to constantly keep updating and finding all news to put onto the morning newsletter and post in chat. So there's a lot, of course, that I got to be doing every single morning and kind of typing this whole entire thing out. It's basically like typing an essay every single morning. That takes up a lot of my time because I want to be prepared at the start of the day for every single trader to know exactly what to be looking for. Here's the PSV climb I wanted. So here's the PSV climb that I was looking for, guys. Yep, so there's again the 110 bounce. That was exactly what we were looking for. I got out, as you guys know, at 114. Tesla right now starting to get a nice little pullback. Tesla's starting to get its pullback as well. Be careful on that. But, notice PSV, the 10,000 shares bounced, from 114 up towards around 118. That's kind of what I wanted. That would have been a nice $400 profit. So again, I didn't hold through that play, but that was a nice little play right there. So again, PSV, nice little bounce back on up. That was definitely a nice little solid play so far. Bringing some good activity, bringing some nice hype towards that stock. PSV right now just trying to hold up right around that 120-ish mark. And that's, pretty solid. And then, of course, we got Tesla. And Tesla, it's like, what do I want to do with you, Tesla? Do I want to look for a bounce play? If you come back down towards around like 477, I may look for a scalp on you on my big account. So if this gets a nice little drop back on down towards some lows, I would definitely probably look for a quick little scalp. I don't think this is a type of play that's just going to absolutely collapse on itself. I'm just kind of looking for that best support line right here. A lot of support right around that 478 region. See if this can come back on down, get a little bit of a bounce play, and then be able to move back on up. So let's see. Let's see if, Tesla is going to be able to make us any sort of money. If I get filled on this, I'll look for about 1,000 shares on this play. And it might come down. It might get filled. Okay, just got filled on Tesla. Just got filled on Tesla at 47,810. 47,810. Just got filled on Tesla right here. Just got filled on Tesla. 47,810. Looking for a bounce back on up. Okay. And there we go. Nice little bounce back on up. Starting on off. Let's see. Currently up $2,000 on this play. 48.80. Let's see if I can get a nice profit. This is my big account. 48.80. Looking for a nice bounce play. Currently up $2,500. This is my big account again, team. Looking for a bounce play. Got filled right at that bottom area. So again, looking for this one to keep on going. Currently up $3,000 at this time. Looking for a nice bounce. $3,000 right now. Again, looking for this to be able to bounce back on up. I'm going to leave this trade with at least $2,000. Tesla being a big order right here. I bought 1,000 shares on my account. Now again, looking for this stock. Currently up $4,000 at this moment. Currently up $5,000 at this moment. Let's go, baby. We're buying Tesla. We're coming out on top. Let's lock this in. Let's lock that out. Let's go. Tesla, let's go. We're looking for bounce plays. Big account right there over on E-Trade. Just made $5,000. $339,000 currently in my E-Trade account. Just put in $1,000 shares. Just locked in $5,209 on that play. Look how perfect this entry was. My entry was 478.10. 478.10. That is the absolute bottom peak right there. Let's go. Who you know, Tesla? Stepping up my game. So absolutely perfect, right? I brought over the big account right there because I knew, again, we're going to get a bounce play. And I said to myself, hey, if we are going to get a bounce play on Tesla, which has been such a hot mover, we're going to absolutely crush this one. So again, Tesla was coming back on down. I saw not only the uptrend, so I saw the uptrend that was holding on up. And usually, if a stock goes very overextended off its uptrend, we might slightly see it crack that uptrend for a moment, right? So I saw the uptrend holding on up. Here's the uptrend. And then on top of the uptrend, I noticed where's the bottom bounce area. Well, the bottom bounce area I'm seeing is going to be right around this mark. So this mark, I'm saying probably $478 is going to be holding on up. Let me just go slightly above that. I went 478.10 with 1,000 shares, which is my bigger account. Got filled 478.10, sold at 483.32 cents. That just led to a beautiful profit of $5,209 right there. So again, that was absolutely beautiful. And that's right here, guys, $5,209 in profit on that stock. Now, we could probably go for another bounce play on Tesla as well. So again, we could probably look for another bounce play. I probably think the best bounce play on Tesla is going to be somewhere down towards around the 470-ish mark. So again, I just put myself up $5,209 plus my $800 today. I'm currently up $6,000 today. I'm currently up $6,000 on the final trading day of August. Let's step it up now. Let's keep it going. So again, up $6,000 today. So let's get after it. So we're going after it here, team. And we're going to be crushing this one. So let's see what else we can do on this play. Woo! Woo! I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. Right now, let's see how much lower this thing's going to go. Let's try to get another bounce play. So Tesla, keeping our eyes peeled on this play. I'm just, again, let it fall back on down. Let this play just fall back on down right here. And once this falls on down, we'll be all set. So again, we can just watch for a little. I don't think it's going to go all the way down to the VWAP. This is the nice line I'm looking for next. This is the nice line I'm looking for next, where we're just again going to have this nice area. Look at that bounce. Look at that bounce. Look at that bounce. So again, watch back down towards maybe around. If we can get a crack of the 470s, I think that would be really good. But this is kind of along the lines I'm looking for. Pull back down towards maybe around the 469s. Right, so again, it's going to be probably get a little bit crazy, but I do think we get some nice bouncing here. Below the 470s is what we're looking for. So below the 470s is what we're looking for to be able to get filled on this play. So we're all good right there. We just got to give it a little bit of time. And again, yes, this is, again, my big account. I do have, kind of like my big retirement account. And if you guys ever see me go to paint, all I'm doing is kind of just for when I post it over on YouTube, or excuse me, whenever I post it over on Twitter, I just always put in bold letters. So it's not just, my P&L. I always just put it in bold letters, this amount of profit, just so people can see it. So that's all I'm doing over there. So again, do Tesla, and we're going with a $5,209 profit. And again, that's a huge trade for some huge profits right there. That was an absolutely great one. And I'm still waiting. Again, I don't need to force anything. I don't need to put myself in any sort of bad position. I don't need to, again, just hop into a stock and hope for the best. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to stay smart. I'm going to wait for that best potential area for me. Be able to come out on top. All right, so we're going to give this a little bit of time because you can see you're getting already a bounce. So we're not going to put ourselves in a bad position. We're still just waiting, still just watching. And that's going to put me up against $6 grand on the day, which is awesome. $6,000 day to close off my August. And not too shabby, not too bad. So again, that's all I did. Just to add again, some big old letters right there. $5,209. So let me post that for you guys so you guys can see my P&L. And I'm still waiting for that bounce play off that VWAP. I'm still waiting for that bounce play off the VWAP. Yeah, I'll put GNW on the bottom level too if you guys are interested in that. But right now, all I'm doing is waiting for a pullback. PSV came back on down. Look how hard that hit. That hit the VWAP at 123. Hard drop back down to 107. That was a hard drop right back down. Tesla, again, all we're trying to do is look for some nice scalps on this. What is my profit for the month? I believe I'm just shy of 30,000 for the month. I know, again, my target this month was around 50,000. I think with that profit, I just put myself at around 29,000. So I'm up about $29,000 this month. Again, I was looking for that $50,000 target, but unfortunately, it was just so slow this month, right? We didn't see many breakouts, many rips, many runs. Now, the past 2 weeks, I've been able to crush it, which have been absolutely great, but I did not get up to that $50,000 target that I wanted. But I am sitting with that $6,000 profit right around my average. For the past 7 months, my average has been $30,000. I have made over $300,000 now for 2020, excuse me. So I'm up over 300,000, which is great. I've had a couple huge months, and then the rest I've just been averaging right around that $30,000 mark area. So I've had a couple big months, right? A couple up towards that $40,000, $50,000 area. Early, again, I was able to break that $150,000. So I'm up above the $300,000 mark for the 2020. But, I still got to keep, pressing along. So here's that from Tesla. So again, I'll answer. Also, if you guys have any questions over on YouTube, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer those out. You know what's the crazy thing about stock trading as well? Is that how long was that Tesla trade? I got in at 11:22. Got out at 11:23. I made $5,000 in 1 minute. 1 minute. I was able to make that profit. So again, how awesome is stock trading? $5,209 in 1 minute. And that's, again, sometimes when you have a big account, you'll be able to, absolutely crush it. So that's the beautiful thing about it. So again, awesome ripping, awesome running on these very, very fast movers. So again, there's a $5,000 profit. I'm just sharing that. All right, nice. So again, we're all set, ready to rock right here. Absolutely awesome, absolutely perfect. And now again, we're gonna keep our eyes peeled for, again, that possible strong drop. We can still get a nice bounce play off the VWAP, right? We know that we can definitely get that bounce play right off that VWAP area. And getting a bounce play right off the VWAP is usually a very, very nice area to be able to make some money. So here's another strong turnaround. We'll see how low that one's going to be able to go towards. And again, the best thing was, the worst is always, again, going in red. If you can just kind of get out of the red or, get in at such a great entry that all you see is green, that nothing makes you happier about that, right? Where all you see is green. Because once you just see green, it's like, hey, I got nothing to worry about. It's all profit at this point. So it's 11:34. We got about 20 minutes left here, guys. We got about 20 minutes left here before we move over to lunch hours. And what a great morning it's been. $6,000. Absolutely awesome. And that's because, again, I was able to profit on Lightspeed as well. I use Lightspeed and E-Trade as my go-to accounts. And what I'm happy about is everyone who's banking it over in chat. You guys are absolutely on fire. So again, anyone on YouTube, let me answer some questions over there for our traders over on YouTube. Let me help you guys out. So I can't wait to get to that level right now. I'm only averaging about 5K a month. Hey, if you're averaging, again, Antonio making $5,000 a month, making $6,000 or $60,000 a year, that's awesome. You're your own boss. You're working on your own time. You're, again, don't have to worry about the 9 to 5, rat race. If you're making 5K a month right now trading stocks, beautiful, right? I've been trading for the past 7 years. My average right now per month is between 28 to 35,000. That's usually where I end up every single month. And I'm happy I got up to that area even with this August. So again, but that's absolutely awesome. Pana, Trade Zero, any good? Yeah, I've never heard anything bad about Trade Zero. Trade Zero, I hear a lot of good, a lot of good things about. I have not heard anything bad. One of the best things I hear about is that they also have a lot of good shorting. What site do you suggest for paper trading? Leslie Brown. Usually any broker that you have does probably have shares, does have a paper trading platform that you can work on. So whatever broker you choose, I'd probably ask to see if they have any sort of paper trading available, but you can, again, go ahead and use some different ones. The best one out there would be DAS Trader, DAS Trader. They are going to cost about $150 a month. If that's a little bit out of your budget, you can get TC2000 or Webull. Webull's a free broker you can sign up with. They, again, have paper trading, or you can use TC2000, which also is going to give you some scanners if you guys are interested in getting scanners along with paper trading. The scanners would cost you about $5 if you use that link. Also, if you want to just use the paper trading, it's going to cost you probably about $20. Also, again, here's again for Webull if interested. Do you set stop losses on quick trades? Or you just monitor the movement and hit a button. I usually just monitor the movement. I monitor the movement and then I hit, just market order sell and I'm out. So I just don't ever leave. So yeah, so again, like that trade that I just got in, all I was doing was holding my finger on the sell button in case things ever went south. So I just hit kept my finger on the sell button in case things went south. And then, that's how I trade a lot of the times. I make sure I have reward. I'm buying on the bounce play. So I obviously have a lot more reward than risk. But let's say, it does crack on underneath it and starts, falling and it gets a little bit weaker. Well, then, you know what? I just sell it right away. So, I do use mental stop losses a lot of times, which does get a little bit iffy. But at the same time, as long as you're experienced and disciplined, it's absolutely fine. Solo trader, thoughts on CAPR, short potential? CAPR. Yeah, I think, right around $6. You got the 13 EMA and 50-day moving average. That's a great short area. Absolutely. Nick, minimum to start trading in the UK. Which platform would you recommend? I would definitely still look into Webull if you can. If not, I would probably look into Trade Zero or Interactive Brokers. Those are all, very, very nice platforms. Does a new trader need trade ideas? You don't need trade ideas. I personally use them because they are very helpful to me. If you guys are interested in getting trade ideas, if you guys use this link right here and then in the discount code, type in trade ideas 15 in all capital letters, you'll get 15% off. So again, check out that link I just posted and then type in trade ideas 15 and you'll get 15% off your trade ideas account. All right, going back to TradeCaster right here. Iggy, sorry, boss, but I've exceeded your profit for the day on Tesla. Iggy, what the heck, man? Making me look bad. What'd you get today? So Iggy, again, beat me on my, $5,000 profit on Tesla. Oh, well, that's just wrong. So what do we have here? Casanova Trader, $1,900. West Coast Trader, $230. Bull, $98. Danny, $200. $36. We got 2,500 shares right there. Trading Maniac 154. Rick Sanchez 954. Hooley 256. Trainer Mike a buck 263. Scott James killing it 764. 112. 250. 288. Keep it up, guys. Awesome job. Awesome work. Keep it going. Oh, Iggy's pushing $8,000. All right, Iggy. All right. You want to play like that? All right, buddy. Let's see what you got. So yeah, J Trader, would $1 support be good on PSV? Yes, again, $1 is always a nice support line. PSV, that should be a nice area where we could see some sort of bouncing. Yeah, time to take off the gloves. Tesla right now, again, I'm still looking for, I think the best bounce is still back down towards around that 468-ish mark. Deck, how much did you make on Tesla? Again, look over in Talk Chat. You can look in Talk Chat. You can look in Profit Chat. I made $5,209. So again, here is my P&L right here. I just tweeted that out as well. Decided to trade Tesla with all that hot action. I banked $5,200 in 1 minute. And you can see, again, I bought in on this stock at 11:22. Or excuse me, bought in at 11:22 in 15 seconds. Sold at 11:23. So I just always want to show you absolutely everything on these plays. So I am just still keep my eyes peeled on Tesla. It is 11:40, guys. This morning went by pretty quick. Stock trading goes by quick when you're having fun. So it goes by quick when you're making a lot of money. So again, not too bad at this time. I'm still just keeping my eyes peeled to see, of course, what's going to be coming on up next. I would love to trade Tesla. I think the best thing for us to do, though, is probably wait for Tesla to kind of calm down over lunch hours and then get back to it this afternoon. So that's kind of where I'm at this point. Let's start putting together a little bit of a watch list. So, we kind of been a little bit all over the place in the morning, and then we kind of, really brought it all together to be able to make some nice profit at the end right there. So let's just go and put together our watch list. So what's our watch list right now? First things first, I think we got to keep our eyes on Tesla. Tesla, stock split today. This has brought in a lot of action. The stock has a $500 target with I would say 468 support at this time. Over lunch hours, watch for Tesla to fade. And then to start picking back up around 2 p.m. Now, why 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. is usually when we start seeing a little bit more action, is when we start seeing a lot more activity. So usually around 2 p.m. Now, we could see a possible U-shaped pattern, but we know what? Get back up near around that $500 mark. That's going to be our main target, right? So if we can get back up towards around that $500 mark, that's going to be our main target for this play, and that's going to be our main resistance line. All right? So watch list, Tesla had our stock split today. This has brought in a lot of action, as we know. This stock has a $500 target with 468, 468. I know that's like a little bit different for us as support at this time. Over lunch hours, watch for Tesla to fade and then start picking back up around 2 p.m. This is, a very big money maker. So again, this is the money maker. So this is the moneymaker today, as we are seeing a lot of hot action and a lot of big time activity towards this play. Notice the trend line that the stock had started fading on off, bounce along the VWAP. All right, so I just want to type that out so everyone's all set and understanding that. Other than that, we do want to keep our eyes peeled on PSV. All right, as I'm seeing right now, PSV $1 is main support. So we do have PSV $1 main support with the VWAP as main resistance. And the VWAP is going to be roughly right around that 120 area. It's going to move around, but it is going to be roughly right around 120. All right, so this was a very hot active mover. Notice, again, guys, same exact thing. Notice how PSV had a great uptrend, cracked the uptrend. It's just been fading. Notice when we get to Tesla, uptrend, get to the uptrend, right? And then again, you see this thing, start cracking on off, starts fading. So again, these, get very, very weak there. GNW, we'll keep on watch to see if it can U-shape up and around. Possible big red to green move. And again, what I call a red to green move is a break of the open, not a previous close. So again, for anyone who wants to yell at me. So what we have here is a break of the open, possibly coming up at around 330. Break of 330, the stock does have room to run up to the 200-day moving average at 345. Not a big play, but it's something to maybe keep your eyes on. GNW, red to green move coming up. A break of 330. We could see a spike to the 200-day moving average, which would just be like a quick little scalp up to the price of what? 345. So again, absolutely awesome right there. So again, that's great. Let's see. What else do we have here? HHT, 150 top resistance. So 150 top resistance. It's going to have around 130 support. Nothing really too much right there, but I just want to make sure, again, any sort of play that has a little potential that we're aware of. All right, so we went over PSV, we went over Tesla, we went over, again, some of these other ones. WKHS, nothing we need on WKHS right now. Look at the uptrend, and then look how that turned into the downtrend. Nothing we need on WKHS right now. And then NTNX, anything we need there. NTNX, I would probably just say break of $29. Watch your volume to start moving in. So NTNX, watch for a break of $29. For volume and activity to start moving back in. All right, absolutely awesome here. So again, what do we have here? Watch list, Tesla. Everyone look at the live stream. Tesla stock split today. This has brought in a lot of action and big buying volume. This stock has a $500 target with 468 support at this time. You can look for a VWAP bounce. Over lunch hours, watch for Tesla to fade and then start to pick back up around 2 p.m. That's usually when they start, getting hot again. This is the moneymaker today. After that, we have PSV, $1 main support with the VWAP as our main resistance line, 120. So again, 120 is going to be the resistance line. That's the VWAP area, okay? That's what you guys would want to be keeping your eyes peeled on. GNW is a red to green move starting to come on up. A break of 330. We could see a spike to the 200-day moving average, which is going to be up towards around that 345 mark. After that, we have HHT, 150 top resistance with 130 as our main support line at this moment. So again, keep that on watch. Just want to type that out. Cool. And then on top of that, guys, we do have NTNX. Watch for a break of $29 for some volume and activity start moving back on in. Boss Lyco, shout out to you, boss. Made a nice $3,274 over on Tesla. Great work. All right, team. Right now, again, is a perfect time to ask. If you guys have any sort of final questions, comments, concerns, anything along those lines, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Now, again, also, if you guys are over on YouTube, we are coming down to the end of our morning. Again, come over to tradecaster.com. We are going to be wrapping that up momentarily. Sign up free, absolutely free 7-day pass. I'm sure you're going to love it. We have over 1,000 members. We do this every day and every afternoon. Learn how to stock trade, take on the market, and of course, I'll see you guys on tradecaster.com. If you guys enjoyed what you saw today as well, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Helps the video get a little bit more exposure. So thank you for everyone who tuned in, and again, thank you for everyone who enjoyed again watching. Make sure you guys head over to Tradecaster, and if you guys have any questions, please let me know right now. And again, over on of course Tradecaster, anyone who has any final questions, comments, or concerns, right now is the perfect time to ask. And I say that because again, we are wrapping up into our lunch hours momentarily. So we are wrapping up into our lunch hours very, very shortly. Right now is a great time to kind of get anything off your chest. Dek, I love you. Dek, I hate you. Dek, can you help me with something? Whatever it is, guys, I'm happy to help you guys out. So as we start pushing over to lunch hours, of course, I am going to be here throughout the whole entire lunch hours. I don't go anywhere from 7 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. People say, Dek, do you have a life? Do you have friends? Does anyone else, care about you? And it's all you guys. You guys are my everything. All right. So, honestly, I do not go anywhere throughout the whole entire week. I devote myself completely Monday through Friday to you guys. And if you guys, again, need any sort of help with any of your trading, I am more than happy to help you guys out with anything that you guys need. So let me just make sure that we're all set here. Just want to post all these links. And then we'll be all ready to rock and roll. But what a nice Money Monday. Nice Money Monday. Finishing off my Money Monday, guys, with a little over $6,000. Because, again, I was able to make $865 here. And then on my E-Trade, I made $5,209. So about $6,100 I made today. $6,100 I made today this morning. Not a bad day whatsoever. Hey, Dek, do you have 2 accounts on Twitter? I think someone is intimidating you or impersonating you is what I think you meant to say. No, I don't have 2 accounts. Little heads up, guys. If anyone ever messages you on Twitter or messages you on Instagram or Facebook telling you about like an account management program where I, will trade for you, that is not real. Again, that's, just some scammer out there. So again, please, never send money, especially if they say, oh, you have to send me money through Bitcoin or something. It just screams scam. All right. So again, make sure that you guys are always being smart. If you ever need anything, you guys can always message me. I do not have 2, Instagrams. I do not have 2 Twitters. I do not have 2 Facebooks. Again, make sure that you guys do your research and make sure that you guys are always, again, making sure that you're all set, ready to go. But yeah, what an awesome, fun morning. Nick, what would you recommend? Long trading over short trading with small accounts as no locate fees. So would I recommend, going long term? The thing again, going kind of, you're just saying long to short. It really depends on, your preference and how good you are as a trader. What I'm going to most likely do for the small account when we start up the small account is I'm probably going to do long trades from about my $4,000 towards about $10,000. And then once I hit $10,000, I'm probably going to switch and start shorting as well. So I'm probably going to go long to kind of get the party started, and then I'm going to go short when I have a little bit more money. What do you think about OSS ticker the next few days? Not really too much I'm seeing right here. Low volume, needs to stay above 13 EMA. If it can't stay above this 240 mark or 250, I'd completely stay away. So again, just, on top of that, I would probably stay away from that one unless it can really start moving back on up. 13 EMA is everything. What's a good day trading broker if you live in Canada? Depends on how much money you have, of course, but looking at Trade Zero, looking at Interactive Brokers, Lightspeed, I believe, is only for the United States, but you can look into Centerpoint, look into Cobra Trading. Those are premium brokers. You need a little bit more money. So again, you could definitely look into Trade Zero if you have a smaller account. They're pretty solid. Mitchell, with a 6K profit, are you buying all of us lunch? Hey, I would love to, man. That's absolutely great. You know, as long as you guys don't tell my girlfriend I made $6,000. Usually every day I just go home and tell her took a loss, can't really take her out on dates. Sorry, honey, another losing day. I'll turn it around eventually. She's been very patient, so we're gonna keep this ball rolling as long as I can get it, so I don't gotta spend any money on her. So yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Again, happy to help you guys out. Bull Deck, is it good for bounce play today? If yes, what level on VVPR? VVPR, again, this play just kind of lost a little bit of volume. It's a little bit light. Stock has room to fall back down towards around $6.25. So I would still probably stick with around that $6, $6.25 mark, but there's just not much volume here, right? So again, not much volume. Again, all the lady traders out there, I'm only kidding. I'll buy her dinner every now and then. So I'm only kidding, guys. Hey, Tactical Trading, thank you so much for the support. Deck, your passion for your business, we love it. What brings us here, brother, as always, awesome work. Hey, thank you so much, guys. All the support, all the compliments, you guys absolutely mean it, so much to me. So again, thank you so much. All right, team. Guys, I think we're all set. Ready to rock and roll. And, other than that, if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to help you over lunch hours. So happy to help you guys out with anything that you guys need. Pedro, Sean, maybe this is too much to ask, but how do you pay yourself? Do you use a percentage or give yourself a salary? I usually, again, take money out of my trading account like once every 3 months. So I build it up, take money out, build it up, take money out, build it up, take money out. So it's usually like once every 3 months. And then, of course, I always have like about 6 months of at least living in my bank account already. So again, I always have like 6 months of living in my bank account. I'll trade. And then, of course, if you just keep saving up, you'll have more than that. But usually after 3 months of trading, if I make 30 grand, 30 grand, 30 grand, right? I'll take out 60 grand and start back with 30 grand. Then I'll make 30 grand, 30 grand, 30 grand, take out, maybe 50 grand and then leave, whatever, $40,000 in my account. So it's usually every like 3 months that I'll take a good chunk out, and then I'll have like, $40,000 in my account, and then I'll have, I'll put $40,000 or $50,000 or whatever into my, bank account, and I'll just be able to live. So again, it just, and then from there, I don't spend 50 grand in, 2 months anyway. So it just keeps stacking up. All right, guys. Have a wonderful lunch hours. Again, thank you. If you guys, again, want to head over to tradecaster.com, I'll see all you guys there. But other than that, we are wrapping up for lunch hours. Enjoy your day. I will see everyone back here this afternoon. Live commentary kicks back off at 2 o'clock, or excuse me, 2:30 Eastern time. So there will be no YouTube in the afternoon. YouTube is only in the morning. So make sure you guys head over to tradecaster.com, and we'll be all set, ready to rock and roll. Guys, have a good one. Let's wrap this one on up. Awesome job. $6,100 profit. And let's finish it off the Dekmar trades way you guys know how. In 3, 2, 1. Ahoo! Great job. Great work. I'll see you guys back here in a few hours. Chat it up over in Tradecaster. Get in the video library. Study up over on YouTube channel. And we'll be all ready to rock and roll. Have a wonderful lunch hours, guys. And I'll see you guys back here at 2:30, ready to take on, maybe make another $6,000. Let's get after it.